Alright, so you guys are chasing after this 15-ish foot tall dwarf statue that seems to be made of iron, and its gape is really large. It's faster than all of you, and as you sprint to keep up with it, it's just cool, and you hear its footsteps as it goes past the bend, and you lose sight of it, and you just keep chasing after it. And you hear it clattering, and it's gaining on you, but you're chasing after it. It just keeps moving down that pathway incredibly quickly. It winds to the right, it bends to the left, it's moving all over the place, and you pursue to the best of your ability, and it starts getting harder and harder to hear it because you realize it's gaining considerable distance.
My long strider boots to keep up with it.
Even with that, not fast enough.
What? That's
Now, Quack, can you track the giant footprints?
Not just that, but this thing is this thing's not organic. So even if you sprint or run, you're running about a mile.
You can only run so far.
It was about a 15-ish minute walk to get to here, and so you guys are chasing after it. I mean, you're going to be chasing for about like 8 minutes. But you're going to start getting tired because don't forget, you're not just jogging, but you're jogging with all your equipment, your armor, your weapon. Yeah, the 2 weeks that you got, yeah, you're super toned, ready to rip. You can handle this, right? So, either way,
can we see where he was running?
It's faster. You remember this pathway was just one smoothed out hallway that just went on, and there was no forks in the road or anything like that, and just following your way past it. There was no other way to go besides it. You kind of are approaching that point where you would be basically entering the room where you fought the slime. And as you enter that room there, you hear and the place shakes, and the ground quakes. And then it's just silent. And you guys are currently in that room with the slime, where the slime was.
Alright, well, I guess I'm...
Is there a consistent annoying dripping?
Make a perception check.
That's 13. Oh, I think I have a minus for that, don't I?
Mm-hmm.
Do I have a minus for that, or was it for...
How do you not? Yes, you do. You have negative wisdom. You told me
That's what I thought. Okay, yeah, it's 11.
Okay, yeah. So you try to listen for it, but you're not hearing anything. You're not seeing anything.
Maybe it's at the other door, guys.
So,
You're talking about that original wall we turned away from?
Yeah, it told us not to pass.
do you want to keep running, or do you want to walk cautiously? How do you want to approach it?
Sprinter approach cautiously, guys.
Say it again?
Well, the slime is gone. Can anyone kind of see if it's fucking here again?
I think we want to go to the room with the fucking door. That's probably what he opened.
Yeah, it's probably
Probably.
it.
Just said, I think.
So what
Let's
are we
go.
doing?
We're deciding if we're running or we're walking there.
We want to know if we want to book it through this room, what
Well,
the
okay,
slime
here's
used
the
to
thing.
be.
We already know where we're frickin' going, so let's
Yeah,
just
but
go
this is the
slow
room with the
and
slime
not-
that disappeared.
This is technically a quick readaptation of that slime room. It's not perfect, but looks like a stomach, I guess, sort of. Anyways,
Kinda.
yeah, kind of like a stomach, and you were getting dissolved in it. So what would you guys like to do? You're about to enter that room.
I've been trying to keep up with it the whole time, so I'm gonna keep jogging.
All right, so just you jog and you're not slowing down. So, Auric, huff, so starts going in that area.
Gonna try to hit the walls out.
It's gonna be open, guys.
Under the
Oh,
wall.
the slimes came off the walls! Jesus, people.
Roderick, as you place your hand against the wall,
I'm not touching the wall.
I said he's hugging, but not touching.
Right, well,
Yes.
I heard hugging, so I mean...
Well, come on, man.
Come on, he's
okay.
not Tommy. He doesn't hug me.
Right, personal space, even rock personal space, come on now. Alright, well, so since I guess everyone's chasing after
I don't
Auric
even
because
like
they
this skin in my personal space.
don't want to lose them, you guys continue to jog as a group, and you move your way through this hallway.
Quack, get your cast.
Nothing happens.
Could you help us out with this?
What do you want me to do? Whack.
Quack,
Now I'm useful to you. Yes, quack.
Oh,
Snap!
So our group...
Do you have fucking disco ball bullshits in the room or no?
Slime?
Or is it fast?
Can you tell if the slime's still
He
here?
was just about to say nothing.
You are jogging through this room, You will not.
I said I was doing that first off, but
Do you want to slow down?
We were chasing after Oric.
What do
because he was running in.
Rorik kept jogging, and everyone else said they were going to run after it. So Evelyn, what are you doing? You're the only one who's challenging this. You just want to walk through? Don't let them play your character. Decide what you want to do. I know that the other 4 are basically jogging still.
I'm gonna go slow.
Okay, so you go slow. Quack and Aniel will slow down to stay with you because they're not going to let you split off and be alone.
As we jog through, like, it's apparent that that spot that was kind of worn, that used to maybe have a door, that's not open, right?
So as you jog through here, and then Roderick jogs through, and Haname jogs through. Unless you guys are changing
I
this now.
said I was going slow.
Oh, I didn't hear that. So then, these 3 are running fast?
Robert's trying to slow down everybody because he's
Well, just hang on, okay? It's because the explanation wasn't clear. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, from what I understood today, we got into this room and we didn't see anything on that wall where that spot used to be, right?
You do not see anything as you initially came in, and as you're running, it's harder to take time to look at things, but you're...
I would like
going
to
to
take
take
time,
the
and I
time
would
to
like to
look.
perceive.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, so you guys would know things, but I'm not going to give you that information until I have the entire group commit or not.
Well, okay, so we know that there used to be a door somewhere in this room. So yeah, I'm gonna check.
Not in this room.
And if it, I thought there was 2.
That's the
One
past
was worn
one.
out.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
so
went
it's
down a
different.
different bloody tunnel.
Yeah,
Alright.
you have to go up and around.
We heard it.
Hell, hang on for 2 seconds.
Wasn't
Holy
me.
hell.
Everyone calm down.
There was 2 doors, right? There was one that was worn out in this room by the slime. Am I remembering that wrong, or I know there's another one?
I thought it was just the whole
we
room
came
that
in
was
that said,
worn
hey,
out.
don't go this way.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
the
sure it was
the
this though.
implication was that. Okay, yes or no, Laris? Am I remembering that correctly?
There-
There was no door in this room.
Okay, then.
And there was a wall that that did read going forward will lead you to the heart.
Okay,
That
then
not
I-
the path you should be going. Turn around.
That was further. The other tunnel.
Yes, now that was the first tunnel we
That's
So-
what he was talking
first
about.
back.
Alright, I'll just
That's
help
probably what
rectify
you're
this
gonna
to speed this up. There was one fork in the road that you guys took. You did that initial fork. You did not turn left. You just went straight. And as you went straight, you went down a long tunnel that seemed to have been more and more well crafted as you went further down it. You then approached 2 well-crafted columns with dwarven writing on it that basically said, turn back. This is not the right way. And then there's a giant smooth obsidian wall in front of it. You guys didn't really investigate much there. You turned around, came back to the fork in the road, and decided to make the left, which eventually led you to this stomach room with the slime acid in it. You fought it, you killed it, it became a disco ball, blah, 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 blah. You rested. You then went down esophagus land. Let's say that's up the stomach. And you then approached dwarven ritual room. Let's call it that. You accomplished the riddle. If that's accomplished or not, you don't know what the output is yet. And then this giant woke up and started running back. That's the layout, basically. So this room connects to here, and this room, if you go down here, is going to theoretically lead back to the fork in the road, provided that is what's happening.
Laris, so what I remember was I thought I remembered somebody investigating this and they saw another pillar, but it had writing that was worn out.
There definitely has been signs in this room of acidic and caustic damage. You have been noticing that down this hallway in general, everywhere.
Slime was a dick.
It's this area, this room definitely seemed to have had it, but there does not seem to be any doorway of sorts.
Okay, well in that case, my character's gonna keep jogging and pursue the
Sure. Okay, so we know Auric is running. This hasn't changed. Doma, are you chasing with Auric or are you slowing down?
Chasing Thor.
Okay. Roderick, you see 2 people run off ahead, and you see a couple of them slow down. What would you like to do?
I play the medium.
He wants to stay between us, is what he's saying. Like, slow enough to keep
It's
sight on
bendy, so you would lose sight of one of these groups pretty soon. It's your choice.
You're running this run.
us. Don't let us decide for you. Do it.
I'm
If
not letting this
we
happen.
die, we die.
This will turn into a left bend pretty quickly, and you will lose sight of either them, or if you keep running, you'll lose sight of the people behind you. It's your choice, man. You will lose sight. Not saying that you can't try to be a middle ground to yell or be like a sentry, but That is the information I'm giving you.
Alright, in this case, you know what has happened? The room Roderick would choose to stay and try to keep guard.
Stay.
And,
Okay,
yeah,
so you're going to slow down to be with these people.
Yes.
That are doing. Yes, okay. So,
yes.
Doma and Orc, you guys will be talked about first then.
No.
As you guys chase down the hallway, breathing heavy and sweat starting to accumulate onto your persons or underneath your scales, Mr. Dragonborn. You make a left, you make a right, you go down the bend, and you eventually find yourself finally, after about another 3 minutes of jogging, you find yourself at that fork in the road. You can make a right or you can make a left. You're at a T intersection.
Let's wait for the others. Well, down the tunnel, does it look like that giant wall is still there?
This is a bridge. This is not literally the amount of turns you've took. It's just the quickest, easiest way to orientate you on this. So would you like to make a left or a right?
Going right.
Which way was the wall with the writing on it?
That's for you to remember, not for me.
And we can't help you because
You've been in here for, basically a better part of a day now, and so your orientation is getting skewed off. It's hard for you to do it. If you had that feat that lets you always know north, you would be better orientated, but I don't think any of you got it. So that's, can't reward you with that kind of information.
hey, look, the one time that feat would be used.
Exactly. There's some times where that stuff actually can be beneficial. Right now, unfortunately, it's almost like I'm punishing you for it, but you just wouldn't know. So it's either you remember yourself, which I know that was 2 weeks ago, but
I'd like to investigate and see if I can see the tracks
Whoa.
from the giant.
so you're investigating, I'm saying? Sorry, what?
Sure.
He's looking for the footprints of the giant.
Ah, very good. Make a survival check.
Very good.
Very good.
So
Ooh.
19 plus 5,
Wisdom.
and 1. So 20 total.
Okay, as you look, there are definitely indications of something very heavy and massive moving through here quickly. You see along this corner right here, there seems to be parts of the rubble on the ground, and you get the indication that it brushed its shoulder against it,
This
knocking.
way.
So it probably made a left.
To the left.
So you two go down the left.
I don't think we should give him a chance to catch up to us. I don't think we need to keep going.
You.
Yeah, we don't need the jug. We can walk ahead, though.
We definitely need to I don't know. I mean, I don't know how long this door's gonna stay open. We should definitely keep moving.
Okay, so you guys start walking now, is that correct?
Yeah, we're gonna walk.
Alright, well then we'll go back to these guys, because they theoretically could catch up, I guess. You guys have entered this room and you want to investigate or just slowly walk through it?
I just want to do a perception to see if
Yeah,
that slime is for sure not fucking here.
Make a perception roll.
Natural one. Fucking lag.
Unfortunately, you do not seem to... You're just kind of tuned in the moment, the adrenaline in your body. You're like, you want to keep staying with the group, and it's just distressing you. You're like, they're split up, we gotta fix this, and you're having trouble actually picking in information.
Alright, well, I rolled an 8, so.
Okay, it's not necessarily as bad,
Oh,
but you're not
no,
getting
you're
it. You're not seeing this entity. You're not hearing the drips.
Well, I was looking for anything, suspicious at all.
That's still not going to get you
I
anything.
think mine is at 23.
23.
Ooh.
As you look around the room, you do see the signs of the previous, some sort of what you saw previously before, which is like a damaged civilization stone. It doesn't really stand out more than it did before. You kind of saw it earlier. You don't. Again, it's damaged to the point where you can't actually read it. You don't know what it says. But you're not seeing any creature. You're not hearing anything. Nothing really shouting out to you. This is just a room. Is what it feels like to you. You feel like there should be more here based off of context of what happened here previously and about the kind of circumstance, but you don't seem to buy anything.
Let's keep moving.
All right, ladies, and quiet. Let's go quickly. We don't want to. I don't see anything. So let's just keep it moving. Pretend like
Oh, now I go. Yes, quack.
yes, let's go.
All right, so we begin jogging again, and then we come to here, which we wouldn't know where they took the turn they took. Because they kept moving. So we come to the fork in the road, and we get a left or a right, and I'm going to urge you to not make a metagame decision here.
Alright, crap.
I can do this, Quack says, as he
You can do it.
survival rolls. And they went that way, and he points left, and he just starts running down there. See, I'm useful, Quack.
Yes, you are. You're the best at that. Quack.
I think we have to go the other way for the door room though.
What the
But
hell's with all these yellow doodles everywhere?
I mean,
Someone's bored.
we did turn left that one time when entering.
I
So
think we needed to go right because we came in. I'm pretty sure we went straight first, and then we came back and made a left. So meaning we should go right now.
if we go right, though, that'll lead us back to the entrance, won't it? Because we
No,
originally...
when we came in here, we went straight first. We came back, and we made the left. Isn't that what we did?
Yes.
The left path from when we originally in...
The left path should be the
We
path
turned
that
right.
the left path should be the path that we took. The left path should be the
Evelyn,
path
would
that
you
we
like to
took.
make a history check to see if you can recall and try to orientate yourself, I guess? Yeah, not with a 2. Well, you're as like you're as confused as you really are about this.
Whatever. Apparently, you guys always think you know the answers, so I'll follow you.
Okay, there's no rebuttal. All right, so she says that's slant, and everyone just accepts it. You move left, I guess, and you chase after there. After about 2 minutes of brisk jogging, Doma and Oric, you hear footsteps coming up from behind you, a shuffled pace, and you turn around and you see your compatriots as they regain up with you, slightly out of breath, but there, you guys have reformed into a unit. You're now down this long, extending hallway.
It went this way, it can't be far ahead.
How do you know?
Well, we've got
We've
us
been here
tracks.
before.
This is the way to the door we initially went, right?
I mean, that doesn't exactly mean that's the
Oh,
way
let's
it
keep
is.
going. The giant footprints are on the ground.
As he says that, there's no footprints on the ground.
What? Giant sculpture scribbles as well, isn't it?
You saw some debris from its shoulder striking the wall.
That was your indication.
So you guys keep moving. As you go down the hallway, it takes you another couple minutes, and then you eventually see two familiar-looking pillars, and you see a giant hole where there once was an obsidian black wall. To one side is a giant metal hammer placed against the wall. To the left is the stone statue, and it just stares towards the front as you enter into the room with it.
Or giddily jumps up and down. Guys, we made it to Medina!
We don't know that yet.
Yeah, we do.
She is going to give a very stern Fedor. You are the single most optimistic imbecile I've ever met on TV.
Make it last a second. You know it.
God.
Is there any nice chunks of obsidian sitting around I could maybe grab?
Give me a second.
Not too heavy. Just some nice small ones.
I thought they were gonna
You just don't run into obsidian that often.
They're in the bag of holding.
go. With,
I can't hear you if you're talking, Lex.
I'm not.
with the stuff around the door, like, why wouldn't you use
It's supposed to be symmetrical, as it should be. But, so we got Giant over here, kind of from the corner. His hammer over here. And, blackness down there. Alright, so you guys You may position your tokens as you wish as you kind of enter this room.
Alright, well,
Proceed carefully.
I think
I was
I'd
gonna go
like-
check for the.
These are stairs, by the way, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, so we're in that room. Alright.
Wait, where was the entrance with the obsidian wall before?
Right
That's
there.
this black.
Oh, that's this thing?
Yeah.
Well, can I see anything in it, or is it like magical black?
So as you look down there, there's just this giant hole, and it's this darkness down there, and you feel this cool breeze permeating
Oh, wait, so it
around.
goes down?
As you look in there, no, it goes forward.
Oh, okay.
Your dark vision kind of not really picking up any objects. You're not seeing something like reflecting light off it. It's just pitch blackness.
Alright, well,
Okay, so the question before there is, the door was smashed. Is there any obsidian around that we can just grab?
There absolutely is fragments of obsidian on the ground.
I'd like
Large
Nice.
amounts of them.
a few nice pieces for me if I can find some.
Okay, you make an investigation roll to see what kind of quality you get. We don't need that much. The more vector art we have on the table, the more laggy it gets, just FYI. That's why it's sketch drawn. But thank you.
I'd like to roll as well.
It's, what was that, investigation?
Correct, based off intelligence.
15.
18.
Alright, you find several large portions of it. We'll go ahead and say within the time frame of what you're getting. You find 3 pounds of obsidian that you managed to procure onto your person there, Doma. Oric, what'd you roll?
18.
18. You find 4.5 pounds of obsidian.
Alright, well, I'm going to cast Dancing Lights, turn it into one orb, and poke it through the hole.
Alright, so you're going to move yourself up to the front?
Well, not super front, about like
I just want to know where you're going to be moving your character. There's a giant hole here. There's like fragmented obsidian still kind of on the side. It's like he just walked up to it and he slammed his hammer into it and it made a huge like crack and there's just chunks of it. So it's an imperfect hole. So I guess...
So basically having my light kind of there to help illuminate it a bit.
It's like fragmented. Kind of like you kind of walk in here.
It's broken apart.
Yes, exactly. Sorry, it's 2D art, and I'm trying to do 3-dimensionally, and this would not how it would literally look. But anyway, so as you guys like kind of, some of you walk into the room, the statue, its body actually turns and follows you as you move throughout the corridor.
Can I tell who it's looking at?
It's currently looking at the person who's closest to the thing, the wall, which would be you.
Like right fucking here.
I know Oric needs to be nearby you because he's
Yeah, he went up for
he collected obsidian too. So both of you actually had to be next to the area.
Well, thanks for the help, Mr. Giant.
I tossed a couple. How many pounds did you get? 3 pounds?
I got 3. Lara said how much you get, didn't you?
I said, yeah, he got 4.5.
I was just going to go ahead and ask you, so I'm going to throw you 1.25 pounds. So have 4. No, sorry. I'm going to take 3/4 of a pound.
Can I just keep my 3?
Sure, yeah, that's fine.
No need to go halvesies. This is just stuff we found.
I feel it.
Alright, so do you guys want to go down there? I mean, I know Haname said you want to put some light into that. Haname, you put your orbs out to about 100 to the entrance here. It's like, 40 feet away from you. There's a little loaded floating orbs there. They don't produce a lot of light, but they're in the hole. It doesn't really provide any illumination. This seems to be a very big, open expanse.
I look at the hole, so there's like not stairs down, it's just open.
As you poke your head through and you look in there, your vision kind of tilters a bit, as if like you're transcending somewhere, and light kind of comes into your. You pull your head back, okay? Now it becomes dark pitch again.
Guys, that was like. That's like
Annie,
what it feels like when I climb inside of a bag of hole.
Annie, would you mind casting light on my shield?
Sure. And she walks
Thank you.
forward, places her hand on the shield, and the shield now emits a brilliance of light. You clearly see
Thank you.
Haname's orbs, by the way.
I know. I just wanted that head inside.
Okay. You take a step through, and there's like this
Thanks, Annie.
alteration to light, as you then suddenly like blink and your dark vision kicks in and you start seeing the wall surface around you, and then you see a descent. It's a ramp going down, just heading down and down and down. It's about a 6 or 7% grade down.
It doesn't matter how far away I am from Enniel to how, if it still glows.
You would need another spell.
As you ask me that, I'd say, I don't know, but I think we should probably get the rest of these guys in here with us.
I was just thinking of rolling the shield down.
Here, let's do it with something maybe a little more possible.
Oh, wow.
And I
That's your weapon, Dome.
My weapon is looking good.
And I pull out an obsidian card and like, hey dude, how about this? Hey Emil, I know that you just did this to a shield, but can you maybe like cast that on this instead?
Sure. She now casts light on that. Doma's shield stops getting light. Doma, it's darker in there.
God damn it. Where'd my light go? I hit my shield a few times. Hit my shield a few times trying to get it working. What's wrong with this
Clang,
light?
clang, clang. You guys hear a metallic sound coming from the hallway. Quack. What was that?
It was just no way he's freaking out. I hold my hand up unexpectedly for a high five from Emil.
She just tilts her head slightly. Are
Like,
you
whatever,
okay?
okay, good job, thanks. And I come back. Like,
Wow.
I hold the glowing shard up to him, like, dude, we can get rid of this, no one's gonna care. And I just like hug him down the hallway.
What was that gesture? She like turns towards Hana Main Evelyn. Was he
I'm
gonna
going
strike
to-
me?
I
I thought I did what he asked. Well, I don't understand.
I'm going to
He was
raise my
congratulating
hand
you.
to Evelyn and just be like, Enniel, this is what he wanted. I'm going to raise my hand towards Evelyn.
Oh, yeah, sure, I'll do it.
High five.
This is like the most awkward high five from Evelyn's paw is not really processing it. And there's a clap sound that kind of permeates down the hallway. The stone statue turns its fix from here suddenly towards you two and just is now looking
And
at.
as this happens, I cast light on Doma's shield, because I can from 30 feet away with this net.
He's out of line of sight. He's out of line of sight. They started walking down the grade, so.
Oh, I thought it was still the fucking doorway. Okay.
I thought we were too.
I guess you're not.
All right. Are you or are you not? I'm sorry. Are you?
We are. We were
Okay.
gonna toss the rock down.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. If you want to burn the sorcery points, then by all means. I mean, there's a rock glowing in Oric's hand then. So do you want?
And there's still lights that
There's a light cantrip.
Sure. Okay. So you burn the sorcery points to still do it though, right?
Why?
Do I have to do that for a distance?
It normally light has to be cast with touch, right?
Yeah, but with distance spell, I can do it up to 30 feet.
Don't you
I
have
don't
to?
have to spend a sorcery point for that.
Oh, is
do
this
I?
a feat you have?
It's just a fucking meta magic, yeah.
But meta magic requires you to burn sorcery points to do it.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Even a cantrip would require you to do it.
Yeah, never mind then.
All right. So Doma,
Just
you don't
walk
have
up
light.
and do it.
So
But either way.
So you guys there, and are we going? Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Stop bleeding. Stop bleeding. Let's go. Quack.
I guess.
Just toss the rock down.
Roderick would ask the golem statue, whatever we call it in Dwarvish, are you sentient? Ish?
Its head turns to you and looks down at you, but it doesn't respond.
Well, he shall ask the same thing, trying to awaken mind on it.
Okay, you cast Awaken Mind on it. No,
Okay.
nothing happens.
It comes alive and it's your ally.
Because Awaken Mind requires criteria, right? I better double check this because
I think it was just using a creature.
And all of a sudden, players had to make a new character.
yes, giant stone dwarf statue. Another NPC you guys can write. You starting at large level, and the alien knowledge gives the ability to touch the minds of other creatures. You can telepathically speak to any creature you can see within 30 feet of you. You don't need to share a language with the creature to understand its telepathic utterance, but the creature must be able to understand at least one language.
The thing there's
Okay, so you feel like there's a connection, but there is no reply. There's no conversation that it's presenting to you.
God, we need that belt support. The grog heads.
Would you be willing to assist us?
It just stares at you.
Can we toss that one down?
Can you please assist us
It's just
in our ventures inside?
Roderick, whatever you're doing, it's obviously.
At this moment, Auric throws the stone, and it tumbles down and goes down this gradient. You see it kind of gaining speed as it's bouncing, and eventually, click, it hits into a wall. And there's a very sharp, abrupt turn to the left. And you see, it looks like a switchback.
Alright.
Alright, so Petite, as you're asking that question, Haname is kind of like, we're wasting time. Koak comes up forward. Let's go, let's go!
Okay, I'm gonna start walking down.
Evelyn, are you ready?
Sure.
Making my way downtown.
Alright, you guys going down to that? Go into the thing.
Thank you
As
for
soon as you go through past the obsidian barrier, there's this like colorational shift in what you see with your eyes, like as if the colors go mute and then they start regaining their pigment. So it feels off-putting because you're not sure what that was, but you clearly saw some kind of visual change in the environment around you. You look back behind you and you see that there's still the obsidian wall from the other side, the broken parts of it. You still see kind of down to this path, down past the columns, down to the right where you came from, and shrug it off, not sure really what it was about. And you start the gradient descent, and you start moving towards that stone that's like 100 feet away, and then it hits the switchback, and you pick up the stone back in your hand, you get the obsidian chunk back, and you then hit the switchback and turn around, and you start coming down. And now, once again, there's like an 8% gradient, and it goes out 300 feet before it makes a hard jettison to the side, and then it switchbacks again, and it starts, you guys basically start going this path of going out several hundred feet, switchback, several hundred feet, switchback, and it does this over and over and over, and each time you go down a leg, it's longer and longer and longer and longer, so it's 100 feet, then it's 200 feet, then 300 feet, it just starts incrementing. Eventually, you find yourself standing in front of a giant hole placed in the ground. It's about 20 feet by 20 feet.
Toss the rock down.
So I'm just going to, that's a rough estimate guess. The way to enter into it's about, I would say it's about 20 feet wide, so this line is not accurate.
Anyone got float?
I do have feather fall.
Others.
Alright, so that's the room up here. Your guys are going to flash forward over here. I'm not going to draw all the switchbacks because that's like fucking hell. So you move towards the hole, and you throw the rock down, and you see it. And as it falls down, you see shadows dancing on the opposite wall over here. And you immediately recognize it. There's a ladder over there that descends down. Some kind of iron, rusted-looking ladder that starts descending down into the darkness down below.
Alright, well.
And it's a stone. Eventually, it lands against the ground. And you kind of try to count the seconds. Felt like there was about a 5-second drop. So you can do the math yourself to figure out how long the fall that is.
I'm gonna inspect the ladder to see how sturdy it's looking.
You put your hands on it, you shake it. It doesn't really budge. Seems to be bolted in well. It is rusty. There's like a little bit of, like, you know, roughness to it, but you look down each run, and it seems to function.
I'm gonna start heading down.
All right, you put your foot over there, and you start heading down. Before even the group can even interject and not do it, you just and you start going down one run at a time. We hear your footsteps, and we see your shield. Look, your shield that you kind of strap to the back of your back. It's got light bouncing off of it. Quack goes, "Wait for me!" as he just runs over there, jumps down, and he slides to kind of catch up to you, and then he stops his momentum, and he's, you know, a couple inches above you.
I start coming down too. I'm like, guys, this is like 300 feet. Be careful.
All right, so Doma first, Quack second, Auric third. Okay, Aniel will go 5th.
And while I'm going down, would it be possible to have my dancing light go beneath it?
I'm already lit up with light, aren't I?
You could. I don't see why not.
Oh wait, no, it didn't get cast, that's right.
Yeah, the more light, the better.
Oh, there's a rock at the bottom of this glowing.
So Roderick and Evelyn, I just need your guys' food.
I'm casting light on my, I don't know, staff, I guess, and I'm gonna cast fly, and I'm just gonna fly down.
Okay. So you kind of float down.
Roger.
How long of a fall?
Far from the entrance. Whatever. Never mind.
What entrance? The Fisher entrance you guys?
Yeah.
The way you got into this cat. Oh man.
Far away.
Pretty far.
3/4 of a mile. A mile. No. Up all these switchbacks were 2 miles. Easily.
Okay. And there's nothing else in the area that is visible.
In this room? Nope.
Just a ladder going down.
Alright, well... Tired of some of these people's craps, Haname is going to pretend to slip off the ladder and fall. And I'm going to cast Featherfall on the way down.
I saw her.
All right. So with that, you guys hear a as Evelyn like dives past at this bright light. And you're like, whoa! And then you hear Haname and she falls off the side. And then she laughs as she lifts her finger up and Featherfall is cast, and she just kind of gracefully floats past you guys as you're descending slowly. Quack lifts. Yeah,
High five,
as you two flood past, going down there first, I need you to make perception rolls, both of you.
What do you get for coming first?
by the way. I'm not going that far.
Oh, okay then.
I fucking hate rolling unstable, by the way.
Nice.
Makes her so sad.
23. All right. So as Haname, as you float down, you see something to your left, and you hear, and it's getting closer very quickly, and you see it not going towards the fast-moving Evelyn. It's actually about the altitude of where your group mates are, and you look up and you see it basically as it's about to strike your group. Would you like to say anything?
Watch out!
At that exact moment, as you say "watch out," and then it just impacts near the bottom of your group, right behind Doma, who has the shield on his back right now, and the light's shining into Quack's face.
I never cast light on his shield, by the way.
Oh,
It's on my staff.
you're right. So then it's on your staff. Never mind. So
That's why I wasn't that far below them. I was just below them enough that they could see.
So what's happening
So
there?
what hit?
your dancing lights fades because you cast a concentration spell. There's only one. Where's Aniel's light? Who had Aniel's light? The rock.
Rock
Orc.
had it.
Orc, that's not in your hand still, is it?
No, it's on the
We know
bottom.
how it works.
To the bottom of the thing.
Yep. Okay.
Would
Good.
they still
Then
would they still have my dancing lights though at the moment?
no.
Because I had it like maximum below me.
Featherfall is a concentration spell, right? Featherfall is a concentration spell. Am I wrong? It would break it. I'll find out. I'm gonna find out. If it's not, you're fine. If it is, then you lost it. It's not. It's a 1 minute for. All right, yeah, you can keep your dancing lights. Where are you putting your dancing lights?
Oh, it was like a bit below us, and since I'm only fell about 60 feet, I'm keeping it like at the max reach that I can.
You're moving down faster than they are, but yeah. So it's below Doma. Doma, I need you to make a strength saving throw.
I was waiting for that.
It's either you or Quack.
Ouch. That's a 6 plus something. See what it's plus before I lucky it. That's a save? Was that a save, Lars?
Yes, saving throw.
Okay, that's plus 7.
So you're
strong.
total.
What?
What's wrong with that?
He's about to roll, I think.
I rolled a 6 plus 7.
A lot of dice.
13.
That's not me, that's yellow rolling dice.
Sorry, I stepped
Changing music. Just keep chill. Okay, so you rolled a 13, was it? I'm sorry?
Yeah.
13, yeah. So as it impacts you, your right hand lets go, and you like grab on with your left hand, holding on as tight as you can. You actually start falling, and you're holding on, slowing your momentum, but you are plummeting towards the ground.
I reach out to him.
You have Quack between you and him. As you reach out to see it, you see Quack, and Quack was clear on knocked off the beam, and he's just falling. Ah! As he's screaming down below, and as he's falling, yeah, this all happens at the same moment. Come, just give me a second. Let me narrate real quick, please.
I can't remember who fell!
So, Doma, you're falling, but your one hand's still on the bar, and it's just hitting each run. Bang, bang. You're basically bruising your knuckles as they're striking each run, as you're trying to hold on with the left hand so you just don't fall to this theoretical 300-plus foot drop. Quack was full on knocked off, and he's just falling, screaming, ah, as he's sliding down. Oric, you see this happen down below. Roderick and Anil just hear it. Haname sees the shadow strike you two, and it moves past. And she hears Quack screaming, but she doesn't see him. Evelyn, you look up and you see this flap at this creature because you see the light and the silhouette of it, but you don't know what it is. At that moment, everyone needs to roll initiative.
Did I see what
No. Initiative.
Crud. Ouch. I really want to lucky that.
Ooh.
Should I lucky an initiative, guys? I kind of needed to catch myself.
Well, you're gonna catch yourself, but you're not. It's not gonna matter what round you go in.
Alright, then I got 3.
Maybe someone will do something in the meantime to save you. You never know.
Yep.
Save Quack, I have a chance to save myself. Quack is not.
Well, I mean, with his frame, he should be okay, just glide, right?
You remember that one time we thought I was gonna survive a
Well, he wasn't a bird, though. Like, he wasn't a mountain. He wasn't.
Yeah, a bird I could see the argument.
It's okay, guys. It's okay. I know I
Or
can survive
roll.
this fall.
Orc,
I got a 18 total. Sorry, I should have typed that. Let me
18 total. Okay. So first thing to go first is this giant winged creature.
Wow.
Screams out. And the group, as it swings back around, you hear Quack still screaming too, and it just bites into him as he's falling.
What a dick.
Quack.
Yeah.
Oh,
Woo, that hits! Oh, that hits. Oh.
I'm gonna guess that was a 20.
yeah.
No, natural 19, but
Okay, close enough.
ouch, 17 damage.
Not sure we're gonna be able to save Quack on this one.
Wait, Laris, since I'm trying to stop myself from falling, does that mean Quack falls past me with the creature?
He is falling past you, yes.
Alright.
So currently, altitude-wise, alright, let's try to make this real quick. Alright, so we're gonna say
After 1 second, he's fallen 16 feet. But he's 6
that's
seconds.
death down there. That's what the skull bones says. Okay, this is the beginning.
Well, and Haname's gonna just keep falling, right?
So-
She's doing feather falls.
Haname
Yep.
and Evelyn are roughly around here.
So, I mean, I'm going to make it to the bottom safe as long as there's nothing down there.
We have no idea
This
what's
is
down
going
there.
crossbones down there, that's what's
I know.
down there.
And this is where good old Quack got bit, and you hear him scream, ah! As he gets screamed. You hear it, you cannot see him at all. It's darkness. He's already gone past your light spells, basically. And you gotten snagged, and now it's Haname's turn. Yes, Haname's turn.
This is where we get rid of freaking Quack.
That's so rude!
Alright, well, I
Quack is
guess
so useful.
as
I know.
a bonus action, I'm going to move my dancing lights below me
Okay.
a little distance, just that way I can kind of see where I'm falling.
Are you gonna float back to the walkway?
I'm just
Because
falling.
if not, you're just gonna keep falling to the bottom, and you might like not be able to help us, right?
I still can. Alright,
From
well...
300 feet down.
It's more than 300 feet. It was a 5-second.
It's 366 feet. If it was
Alright,
5.
I'm sorry. Your call. Do what you gotta do.
Okay. Well, is there any, like... I take it I'm falling in the middle of the shaft. I can't really... I kind of dug my own thing there, so I'm going to...
Well, I could always. I think I could probably help push you to the ladder if you wanted to stop, but it's up to you.
She's actually drifting away from the ladder slightly, from the way she fell, but it's not where she's gonna hit the wall. She's drifting down.
Okay, well, I'm going to...
Currently.
I guess in a really cool maneuver, wrap my... No, I can't see it, so it'd be...
Can't do concentration spells, remember.
No. I was going to shoot an arrow. But, I'm guessing Can I see this thing or no?
You saw where it was momentarily. It's just darkness there, but you can try to take a shot at it. It'd be disadvantage.
Might take one.
You hear screaming from Quack, and you heard it screech. You kind of have a beat of where you might think it is theoretically.
I guess I can't vicious mock it.
You cannot. You need to see it.
Okay. Man.
It's music.
It's a good thing you spent all week getting it.
I know. I stayed up late, every day, compiling
So
this.
night every day.
I'm so tired. Okay. Anyways, what are you doing, Hana Man? Come on. Taking forever here. Let's do it.
I'll take a
All right.
shot.
Disadvantage.
Okay, so first shot will be a
It could be nat 1.
9.
Roll again. Okay, 9 it is.
9.
That doesn't hit. You hear it. You pull the bow back. You're falling. You're trying to like angle it. Fires off, but you don't hear impact. You don't know what happens to the shaft. You fall. Your descent, which I think is another 30-ish feet. Is that what happens?
60.
So
60
go ahead.
feet per
Fall.
second.
So with that, we're gonna go ahead and put you. Yeah, around here. I'm doing approximation math. I'm not counting squares literally. All right, so just be happy with that. All right, so Hanamane's descended further. Okay, it's Quack's turn. Quack's gonna scream. He's going to fall more feet.
Quack, no.
He falls his full turn at this point, actually, so he's gonna impact ground.
Wait, I thought the bat was biting him.
It did.
Grab the fucking bat, Quack!
I mean, he's not going to be falling at 60 seconds.
6 seconds of falling will get you in an unaired chamber, roughly around 500-foot drop. 6 seconds. This is he will impact unless he can think of something.
As he passes by me, can I use the reaction?
You cannot.
Feather fall on.
Well,
It's a reaction.
If you can see him. So that's the question. He
Well,
got
I mean,
knocked.
my dancing lights are
He got
like-
knocked that way. So he's falling that way.
Where
He's
did you say
My
your
dancing light-
lights are?
My dancing lights, I was keeping them like
60 feet below him.
5 feet below me. Like I said, a couple of feet.
Oh man, he's gonna fall so fast by you. That would be make a perception check with disadvantage.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's tough.
Okay.
You got it, dude.
Just roll higher than that.
Oh. Well, he said disadvantage, so
Yeah,
regardless,
you take the other one and plus onto it. What was it?
that was still an 18.
You see him. You hear him scream as he flies past you. He's over here. He's flying that way. Now, however, as you see him, though, it happens so quickly. Your roll was not fast enough to meet that you could actually get your reaction off in time.
You do song.
It was a very difficult challenge. You need a 25 or higher, basically, or a nat 20.
How far did he fall?
You used the nat 20 it twice?
Like, how many seconds has he fallen?
or 25 or higher. Like, so think about the scale of dice challenges, right? 30 is impossible.
Yeah.
25 is very hard. 20 is hard. This was a very hard challenge per dice roll mechanics. Either he has some kind of mechanic like expertise and perception that lets him accomplish this, or proficiency in it, which he didn't choose that for his character, and that's what this check is. I don't make the checks based off of what you guys can handle. This is the environment you're in, and this is what's happening. So, I mean, I'm not going to change things just to make it so you guys
Let's
have a
just
good
be
day.
happy it's not a player character at this point and focus on the fight.
So,
Jesus.
at that moment,
It's pretty impossible to do anything at this point. So
I mean, it is Rob we're talking about. This was Rob's character.
so
Oh, by the
you
way,
hear
Wagner's
him
character.
scream as he's falling to the ground, but
Yeah,
you
he's falling 50 feet. That's like 25 miles an hour. He just blasted past you.
so he, unknown to you what actually happens to him. You hear him screaming, and that's basically the end of that. Did my music already end? What the?
yeah.
Did the screaming ever stop? Did the screaming stop? Is the real question.
How do you only scream when he was bit? But I could be wrong.
Oh, he's falling.
I-
That's a normal
I
time
hear-
to scream.
So, okay, so
Quack nose
screaming. So the screaming does not stop. It's very far away. It was high pitch as it went like by Evelyn and Haname, and like an ambulance loses tone quickly. Auric, it's your turn.
Alright. I reach into my bag and say, "This really rustles my jimmies."
Okay.
Rope
Snake.
can't grab living
Rope.
things?
And I instruct it to wrap itself around say, "Guys, grab the rope."
Okay.
Wait, what?
So the rope like wraps itself around,
Not tough.
and it coils around there, and it knots itself onto the runs, and you grab onto the rope, and you tell everyone else to do it. Anything else in your turn?
That uses my action.
Yes.
I descend. I mean, I'll
Okay.
continue to.
Sure. So you descend.
So kind of just so you understand what I'm doing. So I've got the rope, right? One end is coiled around here. I'm gonna bring the other end down with me and try and like keep it contained. So I'm gonna like I've got the 60 feet of the magic rope, and then the other 60 feet of the normal rope is attached to it, right?
Yes,
Right.
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have the one end coiled around here, and I'm gonna have the 60 feet of the magic rope,
Okay.
the 60 feet of the other rope, and every time I get to the bottom of this rope, I'm gonna tell it to unattach the top and reattach.
Sure. You'll have to spend your time doing that, but yes. Okay. You can do that. So it currently is coiled itself, and there's rope hanging. This rope says hanging.
I think you just observed the importance of having something to like wrap it.
You're super quiet, by the way.
Sorry, I don't know. Oh, that might change.
Maybe my music's too loud.
Anyway, that's just so you understand what I'm.
Sure, I got it. Only half the rope can be currently coiled around it. The other half is just sending down,
Right, I
down,
just wanna make
dangling.
sure everyone has a lifeline.
All right. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. And you descend, which technically you can only get up to Doma. You have to wait for his turn.
Right.
So you're just kind of bottlenecked by him because you can't go through him unless you want to try to orchestrate around him.
No, I'll grab
I'm
a
falling
thunderstorm.
still.
That's the end of my turn.
Yeah, Doma is. I'm sorry, you're right. Doma's falling. That's right. So no, there is flat openness down, so you can descend your full like 15 feet.
Okay. And
Okay.
I'll grab a thunderstorm when I'm done with my turn.
Okay, Evelyn, your turn. You're still
Can
flying.
I wait? Can I grab Doma?
You used your action.
Damn it, I'm an idiot. Grab the rope, Doma.
All
I
right.
like toss when
I'm trying to grab the ladder.
So Evelyn,
Doma, I'm so done.
What can I see from where Doma is? Doma on the ladder still? Is he still like holding
as
on to
you
it?
kind of make a perception check. There's so much happening at this moment that I don't know if you can perceive everything.
If I tried to freaking grab that rope, it would be so much harder.
With your
to grab it.
proficiency and everything, you'll be able to, you will see Dolman. He's falling. He's coming.
21.
He's coming towards you. But his hands are striking, and you can clearly see him.
But is he on the ladder or is he like falling off the ladder? That's my question.
He half his body's hanging off. He's holding on with just one hand. No feet are under on the runs, and that one hand just slam. It's his left hand. It hits a run. He holds firm. His hand like kind of drops for a second. He like lets go, and he ends up grabbing it again. Basically, he's just constantly like trying to grab onto it currently.
I'm gonna fly to him, and I'm gonna touch him and cast fly.
So you're gonna do
Can
cast.
you do it again? Won't
Yeah.
you just fall?
Oh no, I can't. Shit, never mind.
I'm like, oh my god, please don't.
No, I can't.
It'll just make the problem worse.
No, but then I won't be flying. Alright, well, then I will.
This is where a twin spell would have been nice, right?
Right.
And twin spells.
Okay, so. Well, I guess I'm going
Where's the bad thing in all this? Is it still a quack?
Yeah.
You can take a look on your turn. I mean, Evelyn, you're 21.
Oh, okay.
It's below me, right? I thought that was
Evelyn,
below
you
me.
hear it. Well,
Well, I have dark vision too.
so
Really,
it's
I don't
somewhere
see
near.
it.
It's near your altitude. It's near your altitude. As you look out there, you kind of see a faint image. It's basically near your altitude, but it looks like it's actually diving after Clack.
I'm. Oh fuck. Okay, I am going. Fuck it. I'll just do chromatic orb with lightning at second level.
Okay, roll the hit.
Ooh.
22.
That hits. Roll damage. You guys see Evelyn. She kind of like looks out towards the side of all the shit happening. She pulls out her diamond. Because remember, she has the staff light enchant, so you can clearly see her form. And she mutters something in her breath as she aims the diamond towards the bat, and then it's a brilliant, like electrical, like yellow lightning appears, and this coils out towards Mr. Bat creature thing, towards darkness from your perspectives, really.
Mr. Thing,
Light.
you see it. It's a bat.
13.
I don't see shit. I'm trying to
13. All right. 13 damage is done to the bat. You hear it. You hear it streak out and scream from the electrical charge. It illuminates it just briefly, and you guys clearly see that it just full on diving after the thing that knocked off. Anything else, Evelyn?
I'm gonna just fly down a little bit towards Haname, but
Sure. All right, Roderick.
Alright, would it be possible to slide past, get past Annie out a little bit?
You can attempt to do something if you'd like to. It's your choice, man.
Would that be my
She's
action?
currently barring your path.
How would you even get past her on a ladder?
That's
Tell her to fly.
you've never gone
Okay,
past
why
them.
did
Yeah.
you fly?
We're in a small space. Could she open
That's
the
not
there?
gonna
Not
fly.
that small.
Hey, it's your turn. What do you want to do, Roderick?
Alright, I in that brief moment that it was illuminated, I want to try to hit it with that void bolt.
Okay.
And I'll do the
Done-
one
it's
dash
done at
to
disadvantage.
level.
It's done at disadvantage. Oh wait,
Alright.
yeah, it is. You're doing both. Yep, disadvantage.
Is it? I thought it was illuminated.
It's just artistic flair. It's not literally illuminated.
There was the 11.
That's not enough. You
Alright.
kind of cast void bolt, and I mean you're like muttering, oh, and then this dark energy kind of appears in your hand. You throw a finger your hand gesture towards where you think the bat is. You see like the energy kind of spread off, but it goes past, and you don't ever hear it connect. You don't hear a screech. It's,
Shit. And can you fly and keep the creature occupied a little bit?
I,
Never mind. Turn as you come by.
all right, and now it's technically her turn. She fuck you guys.
Why'd you do that?
All right. She'll try.
This is a small space.
That
So
was wide.
what's her strength score? All right. So the cloak she's wearing is on her. She has.
Crap.
So she tries to force her wings through it, and you hear her tear. As the wings do manage to break through it, and she dives off the side towards where the bat was, towards where Quack was falling. That's what happens. And now it is Doma's turn. Doma, good sir. You have to make a strength saving throw to try to hold on to that bar. The next time you strike it, it's gonna hurt. So you're trying to hold on and catch it.
I'd like to lucky that.
Sure.
Oh. Okay, that's +7. Jesus.
So 25.
Take 11 bludgeoning damage, but you do manage to hold on to the next run as you're just halted as the G-forces pull against your body. Your tendons twist and pull a little bit. Hanging on there. Your body's not happy, but you know your body's more happy that you're still alive. That was all your movement to stop right there. You're basically falling like 60 feet, just holding on to it. It's a sudden impact upon you.
Okay. Do I see the bat through all this shit down there?
No.
Even with my
You were just falling so quickly. You're preservation, basically.
Alright, so I can't take time to look for it or something?
I mean, you could take time now to try to listen for it, I guess, sure. But you're not gonna see it.
Even with dark vision? I don't
Yes.
know how far this thing is. Alright, I'm gonna try and figure out where it is.
Okay.
I'm going to take my crossbow off my back and shoot it with what is that spell? Make it glowy. Like I did the slime.
Gotta know your own stuff, man.
Yeah, I know, I'm just looking, bring this up. It's branding smite.
Okay. So you're gonna try to
Shoot it with branding smite.
Okay, you cannot use your action because you used your action to hold on to the bar.
I thought you said I used my movement.
You fell. You can't move more. It was like basically your entire action and movement to not die, man.
Oh, never mind then. Someone else's turn.
So you could try to perceive it and say something if you see it.
Yeah,
but
I'll do that.
but like there's not else you can really do on your turn. I'm not gonna take away your dialogue. You still have a dialogue, so. And it still could be advantageous to see if you can see it.
Alright, so a 14 to see it.
Alright, so you like kind of try to listen to it. You hear a screech, it's below you, it's going away from you. And you hear Quack screaming still like way down below you. Hundreds of feet away.
Jesus Christ. Well, I don't have anything to say then. I can't really point out where it is. Someone else's turn.
Okay.
It's the bat.
No, bat. Bitty
Bat's
bat
turn.
bat.
Alright. And it stops making any noise. It flies out of your range. You don't hear it. And combat effectively ends. Quack screams. There's no like a or anything like that. It doesn't just suddenly abruptly stop. It just kind of fades off and twinkles out. And that's that.
Quack blasting off again!
Pretty much.
Guys, he's a mini boss. He can hold his own.
I don't know, remember what happened to the other mini boss?
Alright, so
that, you guys, Haname, you keep descending, and eventually you click against the ground.
and I'm keeping my dancing lights about right there at my the single dancing light right there at my altitude the whole time, so I can make sure I don't hit anything.
All right, yeah, you reach the ground. Your dancing light shows you the ground, and there's nothing down
And
there.
I choose to land on my feet.
Yep. And Evelyn, I assume you want to keep flying while your spell still lasts and touch ground. Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Doma, you re-get yourself on the bars. You guys start mountain climbing your way down with the rope up this very large descent, and eventually all of us find purchase on the ground. You're now at the bottom of this very large ladder.
And it's not a quack.
I was just about to say I'm going to look for
Investigation.
Grab the rope on the way down.
Yeah, investigation rolls.
For everyone?
Make that 6. I don't know.
investigation.
Wait, maybe it's 7. Investigation is...
Nat 20
19.
plus
18.
Investigation is +1. 7. 8.
27 to 3.
Damn, dude.
Okay, so you guys aren't seeing anything. Petite, as you're looking around the environment, your foot steps into some kind of like water. You look around, you see this, and you hear it now. You kind of look out and you see this like very large river flooding down there. And at one of the ends of the bank of the river, just at the cusp of your vision, you see Quack's bow just placed against the ground.
Somebody, does it look like he fell in the river?
You don't see his body, but his bow is just shattered against the ground there.
Guys.
No one else knows this. You know it.
So, okay, you will quietly take the pieces of the bow and put them in a bag.
It's across the river. You'll have to actually scale across it if you want to get it.
Oh god, it's gonna be hard to keep that a secret then, isn't it?
Hard. They don't know. They didn't even see it. You had to get a 30 or a nat 20 to be able to see that. It was an impossible task.
Oh yeah, Roderick will go ahead and cross over to get to the...
So
to the
people will see you wait out there. You see you kind of like moving out to that, and they didn't really see the river themselves, but then they can see it and they clearly connect. Oh, hey, there's a river, and they see you like wading out there. No one really initially challenges you because they're kind of like still doing their own thing, but they know you went out there. You find it. You gather the broken bow, and you put it in your bag, and you close the bag, and you cross back to the river. The river was about 30 feet wide. There is a current, but you managed to fight against it and not get swept into it.
Any sign of the bat?
Did you hear
Is
anything?
that enough?
Yes. Put up the bag. Just...
Do we hear anything? Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yes, make perception check. Well, no, I'm just gonna use your investigations because you're already kind of perceiving your environment. You do not hear a bat. You don't hear any other creatures. You just now, I guess, you're kind of like collecting things together. Your adrenaline's starting to die down. You guys all now are starting to really hear the water kind of glowing through. You're feeling the mist kind of splash into your face. You're kind of trying to piece things together. You don't see a bat. You don't hear a bat. You don't see any threats. And after about 10 minutes of searching for Quack and shouting to each other and no one finding anything, you surmise that 10 minutes of looking to see if one of your party members is still alive.
Well, I think long for 10 minutes. I mean, if there's a river.
Do you want to? So you find the river. Do you want to start going down it?
Well, if we don't see him immediately, I mean, either that or the bat took him. So I'm gonna say, should we look down the river, guys?
Well, you should generally find civilization along the river.
Does it look like there's a bank along the same way we go along?
So I originally said it was a bank. That was bad terminology. It's water going through rock. It's not like smooth. It's a rock surface, internal water structure. So I mean, you can still like trace along it, but you do see the far side of it is very narrow. It's like there's just a wall there. The side you're on has more structural support. You could follow it up to your vision,
Alright,
60 feet.
before we start doing stuff, what else is around here?
Alright, as you guys like totally examine your surroundings. So at the base of where the ladder connects, effectively you're in a very giant ovalish room, and then a river connects onto one side of it. Let's just say it's the east side of it, and it kind of flows theoretically southward. As it goes southward, you see the path itself kind of winds with the river going out there, but then eventually the path separates from the river as you enter a very large open area, and as you stare down that area, you just see, you hear the water continuing, and it goes further to the right. As you go to the left, you kind of find yourself on like a cliff face. There's like a sheer drop. You start winding your way through that sheer drop. As you look out, you do see lights, green lights placed here and there along the path you're on, kind of making the path stand out. The lights. Let's change the music here. It's totally not appropriate.
Final Fantasy over here.
Yeah, we're mourning over here.
And before he had sad Final Fantasy.
How did you know? So, you know,
Because I am a bard, music is my business.
so you basically realize that you're going to separate the river. You can jump in the river and go with it, or you can keep going out there. The lights along the path are these crystals that are kind of placed into the wall along the side of the cliff, giving this like little bit of a green efflorescence glow. So you basically clearly see this path line off to the left, and you see the river, and you're at this fork in the river. You can keep going on the river, or you can go left on this lit path. Everything else was pretty much like a dead end, or like just a wall that didn't go anywhere.
Or a cliff, apparently.
Well, the cliff is out. Yeah, it's like a V. Oh man, I have to really try to draw this.
So guys, either follow the road where Koak may have fallen in, or go down this well-lit path that seems to have station.
So
I'd chase after Quack. I don't think any of you guys.
I don't think I would.
I would chase after any of you.
What?
Guys,
Quack.
guys,
What?
Roderick would pull out the bow. I mean, I'm just saying that. I mean,
I hear you.
I doubt he would part from his bows.
Oh, he was falling.
I mean, yeah, he might not have been conscious. He might have hit the river. Like, I hear you. Like, that's not a good sign.
If he hit the river and he was holding his bow, wouldn't the bow be washed away?
Who knows?
At very
Who knows
least,
what happened?
at Roderick, at very least, don't you think our old friend is a proper burial?
If he's dead.
Roger.
My guess is since the bat is no longer here,
He probably followed Quack.
I'm thinking he ate Quack. I don't think there's anything left for Quack to find.
How big was this bat?
the thing that hit you, Doma, it was very large.
How large was very large? They're saying that he's
Bigger than us?
a Quack.
It probably can't.
The bat.
From how do I make you? I'm just gonna give it to you. I'm just gonna give it to you. You don't think that it could swallow like you whole, but it definitely could probably get a whole body in it if it bisects it and takes it in segments.
Look, guys,
So-
I survived.
It's large. It is larger than you guys. Yes, it was a very
But
big
it's not
creature.
big enough to just eat a Quack and disappear.
Well, let's just think about this logically. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay,
The one piece of information that I guess I should be stressing more is that it took you a while to still descent, so don't forget that. I know some of you floated down quickly and you probably investigated immediately, but your investigations weren't high enough. Roderick had to manually climb down. He's the one that rolled high enough to actually find that information. Thus, it was still like 10 minutes of climbing, basically. Or 5 or 8 minutes of climbing, let's say. You didn't just get there, so there should be a moment in your head where there's a window where anything could have happened, basically.
like, I'm all for thinking about it logically.
Is there any blood around here?
It's not just thinking about logic. I'm saying what I'm going to suggest is that, I mean, we continue down the path. We may run to people, to civilization at this point. We can. I'm pretty sure that people they need this water source.
No, I agree.
So infinite chance.
Well, either way, could be.
Whatever.
Here's the deal, guys, right? Look, I've survived a 500 foot fall off of a cliff that I should have survived. Roger, you died in the back dead. Like, I don't think that any of us should be abandoned just because we don't know what happened.
We never said abandoned.
It's still too loud.
What would we be doing if we went the other way?
Not exactly.
We don't know where it leads.
We have no idea where it went. You just want to follow where blindly because you think he might be floating down it, but that might not be what really happened. Maybe this bed has a cave down this other path that you don't know about. Like we don't know. We have no information.
Art's not good. It's not a path. It's literally like you just jump in the river and you go down the river, or you go to the path to the left. This is not actually a path. That's the river itself.
Right.
Kind of just like carves its way, and it's like a tunnel that like sucks down underneath you. It's literally nowhere to go. If you go into it, you're
Where's that
basically
cliff?
yeah. It goes off the cliff, and you don't know exactly like how. It's not. It doesn't sound like a waterfall, but it goes like kinda. It's.
I'm gonna pick up a rock and hold it towards everyone. You mind lighting this thing up? I'm gonna toss it off the cliff.
All right, you toss off the cliff and and bounces off the side. Estimates probably another 300 to 400 foot fall.
And it looks like the river goes down that.
As you look down there, you definitely see water down below, but it's like winding way out. We're talking like a quarter of a mile, and it's just like going to the right, and this path here is just kind of hugging left and going away. It goes literally the opposite direction. As you kind of stare down the ground, or trying to get down to the ground where the stone rests, you don't really get a good indication of what it is like down in that area, as it only shows you a 60-foot small little spot way far away from you. Like 500 feet away, or what does it say, 300, 400 feet away from you, so you're not really getting a good cue of what it's like down there. But you do see water down there, like it's kind of like a reflection.
Well, it sure does go down a long way. There's water down there.
Do you really want to make that jump?
No.
That doesn't. Just because there's water doesn't mean anything.
Didn't say he was down there. God, I'm just saying there's water down there, because I wanted to check.
Okay.
Don't feel cynical about it, please.
All I was trying to say is just because there's a mean we would survive.
Didn't say I wanted to jump in the first place. Never even implied it. I would not jump off this. I just nearly fell to my death. Do you think I'm gonna attempt this again?
At this moment, Haname looks towards Orc. This junkhead maybe, but not you. So I take it we're pretty much holding.
He might have survived. It's possible, right? I mean,
It's true.
Even if he did survive,
Oh.
the thing is, we could risk all getting civilian or worse by jumping in this river blindly.
We're not just going to jump out.
I don't think anybody ever suggested jumping.
Try to follow the river. That's what you said, wasn't it?
Following doesn't jumping into it.
That's the only way to follow it.
I'm going to, at this point, in a very mocking, like, swing my arm around into where you literally said it, just like the river carved into it and there is no more path. It's you jump in the river and down.
Okay, because we're not creative enough. We don't have anything to fly. We're not smart to come up with other solutions.
Only
we shouldn't be fighting with each other. That's not gonna help.
I agree.
I feel like every decision we try to
Then
make.
maybe
is
we
a
should
fight,
try to
and
work on a
it's
strategy
over.
together instead of insulting each other. And she looks at you, Orc.
You're right, let's go down.
So the group, not really uttering anything else. They begrudgingly, I guess, I don't know, make the left and continue down the path that's adorned with these lights, green stone
I'd like
lights.
to inspect the lights as we walk. See if I recognize what they are.
Sure. You immediately know they're a gem.
I'm good with those.
Make a Intelligence check. Add your proficiency bonus plus your intelligence.
Ow. Ow. That's a 3. Plus whatever.
So as you look at it, it's a marvel to you. This thing's a very well cut gem.
Does it look like it's stuck in the wall?
It looks like it was intentionally placed, but yeah, it does look like it was designed to be placed in the wall. And it's providing this enough light to kind of like shine the path. It shows the ground basically, but it doesn't show a lot of it. So it's kind of connecting the dots, as you will. Similar to how like street lights work for cars in cities. They don't actually have
That'd be a 7
everything.
total.
So
I guess that doesn't improve much.
you can't really tell how it works, but it's definitely a very precious looking stone. Good, valuable, but it definitely seems like it is embedded in the ground. I hope that answers your question. It's the best you can get.
I wanted it.
You want to try to remove it?
Well, a glowing stone in this kind of environment would be really helpful. Since we might get separated later or whatever. Apparently we already have somewhat.
So how do you try to get it?
With the pickaxe.
Okay, you pull your pickaxe out and you look at it, and it does not look like it's in good shape.
Oh yeah.
You see the acidic damage done to the weapon.
I'm gonna use it.
All right. So you kind of like try to wedge it in between the wall, and you're trying to like, make a strength check.
See if it breaks.
Watch him crit it and just destroy it instantly.
20.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So as you like pry it in there, you do hear the weapon kind of like bending just slightly. This thing's really in bad shape. It doesn't break, and the gem doesn't seem to really give either.
Okay, even with my added other stuff, because it's just an add 20.
Absolutely.
Alright.
It seems to be designed that it's meant to be there. And it's like reinforced is what it basically comes down to. And your weapon that you're trying to wedge it with isn't in the highest grade at the moment.
So basically it's because my weapon is so pathetic?
I can't answer that question for you. That's for you to decide on your own.
Oh goodness me. I don't think I have something better.
Wait, I missed it. What? Oh, there's stuff happening out here. People catching up about what fucking happened to Quack. Oh,
Yeah.
that's why sad music's going right now.
Yeah, Quack, something bad happened to Quack. Well then, let's take my chisel and chunk off a point.
Okay, so you grab like a chisel and you try to just
I have the
crack it.
Gem working. Yeah.
Sure. Make a strength check.
Ooh. That's a 4.
As you strike it, there's like there's a discharge of magical energy, and it makes you like back off a bit. You're like, whoa, shoot, that's not normal. This thing has some kind of magic in it. You like study it again. It's definitely it's valuable. I've never seen a stone like this before. It doesn't come up as any registered stone that you know. But definitely seems to have a soft glow to it, but you don't chisel a chunk off it, and you didn't even crack it. It seemed to be very resilient to the blow you gave it.
Oh man. First an irritating drip, and now an irritating stone.
I don't tell you.
You did this to yourself.
Do shit.
I
Try
can
to
tap
take
him on the shoulder and say, you can do it, man. No.
I can do it. Do it with what?
I believe in you. You'll give
You're gonna try again?
cast that guidance on him.
It's like you're trying to give him inspiration, as if we like had a bard that could inspire people to help them make skill checks. But anyway, so you got guidance. If you would like to try again, you feel slightly more likely you're going to accomplish it. Slightly. We'll see how it goes. Do you want to try again?
No bard help feels bad.
Well, I'm just completely frustrated at this point. We were like trying to get going. Oroc's like, yo, let's just jump up the river. This guy's over here like, all friends in danger, let me down.
16 plus 3, so that's 19 plus whatever his inspiration is. Let's skip over this whole conversation. Okay, let's roll a d4. It's plus 1.
So
20.
20. As you strike the gem again, there a little crack kind of forms into it. You see a little bit of dust kind of sprinkle off. As the dust kind of falls down, it loses its efflorescence. The gem has a flaw in it now. You don't get a chunk of it out of it. After this deduction, you go, this thing is really resilient. And you feel like if you broke it, it just is going to spread out whatever magic it's got inside of it. And so with that evidence enough, you go, I would need the entire thing. So you would have to somehow get the entire stone out, not just a part of it.
Irritation clearly on his face at this point. Let's keep going. Unless someone has a bright idea to get this thing off.
Do we need it?
I figured it would be useful.
I can cast light on a rock if you need it.
She gives you a concerned look. Oh my god. This is like moment of pity.
Oh my goodness, let's keep going.
Oh, Evelyn. Oh my god.
Wow.
At this
Oh,
point,
it was so sad. Like, Doma always gets shit on, man.
I'm just trying to understand why.
because
apparently we can be split up, and it's a nice, valuable looking stone. And I figured, hey, a glowy stone. I might want that.
Okay.
because it's shiny. It has 80
I like shiny things, okay?
Hey, I didn't know that, but now I do.
Alright,
You
so
do. If it's shiny, I probably want it.
do you guys continue, or do you keep trying to harvest this specific stone?
Our paladin is the greedy bad.
Don't forget, he's the one who stopped defending you from Rukan to loot feathers and scales that he hasn't even told you guys about. He's just hoarding them to himself. This guy, man.
Seems like my nature.
Fuck.
At this moment, really upset with Doma. Haname's going to pinch his ear and just like start walking.
I already said let's go, and I swat away your hand and
Alright, so
continue
you-
walking down the path.
Alright, I assume everyone else follows? No objections? Okay, you guys start going down the
Better
path.
weapon, and then I can fucking get one of those stones under my breath.
Alright, Jesus Christ.
Someone was so gung-ho about our feather a second ago. You are distracted by a shiny little rock, aren't you?
Well, you know what? It's not like I can go track them, can I?
I'm sorry, what was that question, Auric?
Yeah, they're stuck in the wall.
No. Are they like in the wall or are they?
They're stuck in the wall.
So it looks like they were placed there, like it's not part of the wall face, but his attempts to harvest it have not proven successful. Let's just say that.
Come on, a nat 20 didn't do it.
No.
With a shitty weapon.
That's fine.
Nat 20s don't make the impossible happen, and sometimes the methods of how you approach things are
By the
impossible.
way, is my pickaxe -4 now?
As you look at it, make a nature check. Try to
Oh,
reduce that.
no.
I'm sorry, just an intelligence check. What, who am I kidding? It wouldn't
That's
be nature.
19 plus 1.
Okay, yeah.
Wait, does my intelligence have 1?
It's -4 now.
Thought so.
And you feel like that
Well,
if you the next time you try to do anything with it, like pry or crowbar or whatever, it's probably going to break, regardless of the event. It's that damaged, it's that soft, it's that weak at points now that it can't be used for like kind of leverage. You can bludgeon things with it effectively, but like it's even in combat, it's going to start breaking against hardy foes. This thing is not long for the world.
Spin it around in my hand a little while looking at it. Well, old friend, looks like our next battle will be the last.
You actually deduce that maybe one of your pikes might be better of a weapon right now than it.
Oh my god.
This is a dear old friend that has seen a lot of shit. Don't you make me abandon him.
It's basically it's a D8, right? Versus a D6, but the D8 -4. Well, it's a D6 to splat. The pike is. I mean, not the pike. What is it? What do you have again?
It's a warpick.
No, the range weapons you're using. Not spears. He's using javelin. Yeah, the javelin. The javelin would be better, basically.
No, it's a dear old friend.
Hey, whatever. You know what? Last fight, next fight, weapon's gone. All right, whatever you say. All right, you guys continue down the path. God damn it.
shitting on me there. Let's go.
That's not me shitting on you, it's you shitting on yourself.
You're the one who constantly was like, oh, this thing made it back, and let me swing my wolf pick.
Pretty much.
You know what? I saved people's lives doing it.
Yeah. There's consequences to your actions.
Okay,
And...
let's stop attacking each other and let's try to work together
Alright.
and do something.
Okay, so you guys...
We need to be a group. Let's do it.
So you move forward down this path along the cliff face, and you basically descend deeper and deeper for like 20 minutes. Deeper and deeper, and yes, that's the terminology of the night. So eventually though, you find yourself kind of like the ground leveling out, you get off the cliff face, you actually get on the ground, and in front of you is several buildings, stone buildings. Not very tall, 8 feet tall maybe. They seem to be made of stone. There's about 6 or 7 of them, closer together. Yes. I'm tired, goddammit. Don't expect miracles right now. It's not the same game it normally is for me, okay? I'm sorry. Alright, we are or you are, Castle?
Him and Doma. Him and Doma.
I mean, some other people just made it deeper. So but you're
That was me to myself and Irene.
You changed that color. I can't even see that really.
I know, it was such a bad choice.
Holy crap.
Oh fuck, whatever.
There you go.
You guys are over here. Put your tokens over here.
Okay.
These are crappy buildings, I know. Cry me a river.
They were. I've seen worse. Not saying where. Just I've seen worse.
Alright, so that's 5. I think I said it was supposed to be 6.
You gotta doodle one more, damn it.
Alright.
Yeah.
Hot
I
diggity
like it.
damn.
So that as you guys kind of move off the ramp and you get on the ground, you stare off into this space. Make a perception check.
Shit.
I'm gonna yell out quack.
Okay, you yell at Quack and hear a quack, quack. Yell echo back to you.
What are we doing?
Perception.
Perception.
You like my perception?
Natty 20, 25.
Natty 20.
Anyone else? Anyone else?
Aw, Owl. I think you rolled lower than me.
I don't
I
know.
did. That's painful, Owl. You rolled 1 lower than me.
Alright,
I've never
so
really ever rolled this bad in real life. It just fucking sucks.
maybe your dice is loaded. Alright, so the natty
In the
20.
fucking
Everyone
game?
else
Okay,
everyone else is not really seeing it, but
I don't get anything? Oh man.
well, what you rolled a 14? No, you don't see
Yeah.
it. As you guys kind of like start stepping forward, Haname, something catches your eye, a sheen in the air, and you tell everyone to stop. You put your hand up, and everyone kind of halts their like, what's going on, and you point out this line that just kind of dangles in the air, about 4 feet off the ground, right in front of you guys. Kind of this hanging. Can I draw here? Fuck.
Is it a trap?
It's a trap!
We'll make it green.
Raise the shields.
Kind of just
One wiggly line.
hangs there loosely, off the ceiling. Yeah.
Does it look like it leads anywhere? That's the real question.
As Haname points out to you guys, you all clearly see it, and as she points it out, you clearly trace the entire thing, you see it, and then you start seeing others, and more of them, and more of them. As you look out to the village, there's spider webs all over the place.
If that's the number, Hulk.
I hate you.
I told you this would happen at some point, right, Evelyn? Well, it's sooner or later.
I fucking hate you.
You can't have an RPG game without spiders. It has to
I may
happen.
never talk to you again.
So at this exact moment, Evelyn's heart starts pump, 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 pump. Sweat starts beating down her face.
I'm backing the fuck up.
You okay, Evelyn?
You alright over there, Evie?
Where's my annual token?
Just under her breath, she's just muttering, no. She just mutters it over and over again, no, no, no.
Well, bats eat insects, right?
Hopefully the bat ate the spider. Maybe it's like the hungry caterpillar. It just doesn't stop.
Alright, well,
Right, maybe
Hanabi's
the
gonna go
spider
over
eats
here and check on. You okay?
Well, I'm gonna duck under it and try and avoid any webs as I go in a little bit further and take a look around.
I'll proceed slowly and keep an eye out for webs that can help out.
So I'm trying to get around them damn things.
I will go to the edge and kind of peer out.
So you guys-
Take a close so I can see everybody.
So you duck underneath it, and you start going in, and it's just a network of them. Effectively, for you to not...
Do an interpretive dance.
I mean, yeah, you can get your way through it, but basically, like, every... 30 feet...
I'm just trying
So
to get further out
every
of this.
every turn you try to move, basically, move through here, you have to make a dex check to try to not trip.
Do you want to be in its lair or like in its web? Like that seems like a really bad idea.
I'm just going out here to look around. I don't know what there is. Could be
So
holes.
I'm not gonna draw every fucking web because that's impossible. So again,
So just make a check, right?
every 30 feet you gotta make a dex check to avoid. Literally, it'll be a. We'll just do acrobatics. We'll make an acrobatics check to try to bend yourself and twist yourself in the way to avoid tripping the lines, basically. So Doma goes out there. You haven't gone 30 feet yet, so you, per my rule set, you're not required to roll yet. You can move another 10, and then you will then get stuck.
I'll move that 10 and take a look around.
Alright, so go ahead and do your roll to not get caught first, because that will definitely make you not want to look if you get stuck, so...
18 natural, so that's 19.
Okay, so you manage to twist and everyone else see. It's pretty much, what's that character from Futurama? Hermes? He's like weaving his way through, like on Congo Line.
Limbo.
Yeah, Limbo, that's the thing I'm looking for. Okay, and you
Limbo.
get through there, and you now may make your perception check. You didn't get stuck. Nothing seems to be holding you back. You're good.
16 plus perception, I think that's -1. 50.
Yep.
As you look around, you stare up at the roof, and the roof isn't terribly tall. It's about 40 to 50 feet, and your dark vision sees things up there on the roof. Not the roof of these buildings, but on the ceiling. A lot of things. Yes, as you stare up, you see legs, hundreds of small spiders, and you see some big moving ones too. And they,
I hold out my hand to the group. Shh.
as they kind of scatter across the ceiling, they
And
don't seem
slowly
to.
point out.
They don't seem to have noticed your presence just yet, but they're climbing up there.
Clearly gave you guys a sign to be quiet and look up. Do a thing.
From your roll, there are hundreds and hundreds of small ones. They're about the size of your hand. And then there are dozens of spiders that are the size of you, if not larger.
Bloody hell. Am I able to tell what they are?
Nature check.
Oh boy, I don't make many of those. That's a 7 plus... nature is +1, 8. I don't know them. Probably.
Arachnids, that's all you can really tell. You don't know. Arachnid gargantuan, I guess. I don't know. Your guess is as
They're
good as
big.
mine. Yeah, they're big.
Well, it's time to use my boots to jump right up there and take a closer look. No,
Oh my gosh.
He goes up, you jump 30 feet and you get caught because you roll your bad acrobatics check, right? And then you're just like suspended in
Oh, yeah.
air and they kind of start crawling all over you, and that's the end of Doma.
just shit.
Alright, so that's Doma. Does anyone else want to do anything?
I held out my hand to make you guys stop and point it out. Please
Alright,
take notice of this gesture.
I've been on mute the whole time, sorry. I passed the message back to Roderick, and I rolled a 16. Do I see that as well? I mean, after he pointed them out.
You see the creature's up there?
Yeah.
You can interpret his gesture up there, and you look up and you see him, and Roderick, I assume, looks up and sees them. Is that correct, Roderick?
Yeah.
Aniel's gonna look up and she's gonna take in a breath and sigh. Haname, do you look up?
I
She
was
just
checking
sighs.
on Evelyn.
So you don't look up. Evelyn,
Yeah.
you saw Doma stop and he points up. Do you dare look
Oh
up?
god, Evelyn!
I don't look up.
Right.
Right, you're a husky.
I move over to the wall. And
As
I
you
just kinda
move
put my
closer
head
to
up
the
on it.
wall, oh jeez. So as you put your hand, as you
There's webs on the wall.
you put your hand on the
Is there
wall.
webs on the wall?
Yes, and it's sticky, and your hand.
Oh, and I wouldn't touch that.
It-
I would back up at this
You've
point.
already done it.
No, well, if I saw the fucking webs on the wall, I'm not gonna touch it. I'm not stupid.
There, you're near the entrance. They're not as evident there. It's much more evident in here. There are webs over there.
Whatever. Okay, do whatever.
Oh
Is she gonna
shit!
make a
That's
check?
Jesus Christ.
Alright. Roderick would try to motion to the guys to.
Do I want to?
I'm
Do I
back.
want to be me? Like, do I want to be what
Do
it
it.
would
It's
be?
fine. I said it. It's fine.
I just
Whatever.
feel. I feel so guilt ridden right now. Like I'm punishing you, but I mean, like you said, you did it.
Fine.
Your hand gets stuck on the wall, but it's not like it permanently stuck. You pull it off. These are not. There's not a huge web of them. You just kind of find it. There's like sticky residue on it. You like rub your fingers together. You kind of want to rub it against your clothes, but you don't do that yet. You may decide what you do with it. But you're not stuck against the wall. It's got that standard like alien slime like residue sticking.
I just press the digitation off and I back up.
Just you.
Okay, well, so that's what everyone's done, and now we're gonna go back to Doma.
How are the buildings looking from out here?
Abandoned, old, no signs of life. There just doesn't seem to be bones anywhere. They're just webs upon webs upon webs, and you're actually getting to see inside this building here because the doors you're facing now, and it just looks like stuff has been knocked over, and it's just a blanket upon blanket of shit in there, of webbing.
Jesus Christ.
You hear a skitter and a scatter across the webs above.
Fucking, I hate that sound. Can I see further ahead now? What's over here?
You can see 60 feet down the line, but that's too far out there.
I whisper ahead, Doma, come back. We can all strategize. I don't know if we want to approach this right now.
Oh man, I kind of agree with you. Can I just avoid the web I already know is there?
You have to acrobatics your way right through it. It's like laser wire, man. You kind of have to like weave your way through it. So it's a check every fucking time. Unless you guys destroy it or cut it down, that's what you have to do.
I don't have anything sharp. I'd
And
just be
as
like
soon as we
slashing
touch
at
one
the
of those
web.
webs, we're gonna be fucked. They're gonna feel it.
Oh yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. Can I see where the web connects? Does it look like it goes up? Or is
Dude,
it
there's
just
webs
connected to the wall?
everywhere. They're going up, they're going down, they're going to the buildings. The buildings and the windows are covered in them. It is a mess. It's a web. It's a web for hundreds of spiders, man, to catch things and eat them.
Ugh.
Like this is like super spider zone. All right, man.
All right, I'm going back.
I didn't want to draw it because it's like literally impossible to draw it. Just imagine it like you barely see the buildings. It's just white like everywhere. It's terrible, man. It would be arachnophobic's nightmare.
All right, that's an 8 plus something. Acrobatics, right?
8+. What's your total?
You said acrobatics?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to take athletics. No, I'm just kidding. Fucking, where is that shit? I swear it was a 4.
It's at the very top.
Oh, fuck, it's a +1?
Okay, so an 8 as you kind of like
That's a 9.
a 9 as you kind of weave your way through. The beginning is easier, and you do manage to get yourself back to the group without getting stuck.
Good. And
But your
I like
foot
my
kind of
mental
feels like it's stepping on a bunch of webbing as you look down. Yeah, there's tons of web on the ground. It's not like you're stuck in the web, but it's sticky. It's not as impacted where it would actually catch a large creature like you.
Oh man.
I came in 15th, so I'll go now.
Hey, Eva, you don't like spiders, right? You've got fireball, right? There's a ceiling full of them.
Go wipe them all out.
Why would you tell her that? Like, I mean, I guess...
You don't like spiders? You have a fireball.
You have an opportunity to kill them.
But here's the thing.
I'm just
Say
giving a
it doesn't
suggestion.
kill them. If it doesn't kill them all, they come after us.
There's gonna be a lot less. I'm
if
just
it's
giving
bruised
it an
up, I can
option.
handle that as long as nobody's in the way.
Yeah, he can burn people more. And then we
I
can cast more
can't burn
spells.
anything.
I don't know. Who's talking? Or it can burn people. You can burn people. Everyone can do stuff. We just gotta be further back in the cave as we do this shit. This is easily something we are able to do.
Yeah, I think we can approach it right.
What do you think, Eve? Wanna burn some spiders?
I don't know if I can.
You can do it.
Spiders? Come on, you hate them. Channel the anger.
I'm
If-
deathly afraid of them. I
Fear.
don't hate them.
Fear.
They're two different emotions.
And you're right.
At this moment, Haname is going to be there, kind of like.
Well, there's another
Evie
option.
is basically on the verge of hyperventilating. at this
There
point.
is another
That's
option.
how
We
fearful
could
she is.
go back to the river.
River did seem like the right way. Go down the other way and find Quack.
It's
Or
it's
we do
dangerous
this.
too. There's no guarantee that it's safe, but it's an option.
So it's deal with the
Listen,
spiders
if-
to go down the river. Those are our options.
Mm.
Instead of point out the obvious.
I'm just saying, but you know, if we were to stop for a little while, I could try to get in contact with Quack, right?
Oh, message him.
Sending.
Message. And just Quack. Ping. What the fuck was that?
You got me.
I mean, we
I've
could
never
try.
received a message, so I have no idea what it's like to get one.
But for this, in this situation, we need to be away from this location. We either
Just send a message.
we go a good distance away. We
Well,
sit
yeah,
down,
I'm not gonna fucking stay here with these. My god, man.
I don't.
Says
Is
the
alarm
man
a
who's still
concentration
standing
spell?
in the web.
Alarm is not.
Why don't you cast it in this hallway? And I'm not standing on the web. There's a dexterity check in front of me. I stopped here to talk to you.
I think
Whatever a dexterity check.
Well, I
is.
mean, if he fails this, it's not gonna fucking matter. We're gonna be probably fighting anyway. So don't fail.
I'm just. I know, right? I'm just. I'm here talking to you guys. I'm just waiting for that moment.
Just get out of the web and we'll talk more.
I think here's our plan. Here's our plan. As you come across the web, if you trigger it, we all sprint to the river and jump in. And if you don't trigger it, then we do our sending.
And see if we can find Clay.
Because realistically, the spiders aren't going to jump in the water, right?
Oh, I don't know.
we
I don't know what they are.
No
Does
idea.
anyone knows what those things are?
You
If
do
they were-
realize there are some spiders that
I do realize that. Have they made their nest by the water?
Well,
doesn't exactly matter.
Their webs on the roof. They're all.
but based on the webs all throughout this cavern, there's big and small ones. So
Oh yeah, I saw some big ones.
Guys,
how big is the big one
I think we should be-
versus?
How big is the big one there? Is?
We don't know. Well, maybe
I think we should be quiet, not so loud.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
good point.
Doma, come
Just get
out of the way,
over
please.
here.
As you guys see Doma start moving towards out of the web, so those of you that have looked up before glance up, and the spiders seem to be moving towards your
That's what I do for
location.
stepping on a web.
Not because of that, but because you were too loud.
Lovely.
So they're
So me
coming.
and Evelyn don't grab this.
Evelyn and Haname do not know, but everyone else is aware.
Shit, good shit.
And now,
Nervous laughter.
Why are you laughing?
That's what I do when I'm scared.
They're
Guys,
coming.
stop talking. We gotta move.
And
Oh, wait.
Oric, as you turn around, I need you to make a perception check.
Oh no.
Just see one fucking massive one land in the middle.
It's the bat on the other side of us.
Just it's a bat.
Perception, you said?
Mm-hmm.
It's
it's quack.
Okay, so you don't see it,
I don't
but
see
you hear it as
Oh.
against the wall, a giant splatter of webbing lands near in the wall. And then you look to right.
I shout, we're getting attacked, run.
Oh yeah, let them know. We're absolutely here.
I think they're aware.
Extra aware.
So, you guys run?
Probably.
Yes.
Alright, then you run. As you run outwards, I need dex saving throws from... I need dex saving throws from Haname, Auric, Evelyn, and Roderick.
Oh, not me.
Nope, not Doma and Aniel.
Is that Dax?
Yeah, how's it going?
Dex saving throws, yes, from you four.
I'm at 12 for castle.
Fucking idiot spiders. No, Owl, no!
No, Roger.
I was following Roderick, so.
So as Roderick and Evelyn turn, their legs won't move. Their feet seem to be stuck to the ground, and they're not able to move. Everyone else starts sprinting away. You turn around and you see them kind of like pulling their legs.
I was behind them.
Yeah, so you guys only ran like 10 feet away, and you realize that your entire party's not there. You can try to help them get the fuck out of it, basically. However, you do see a bunch of spiders like fall to the ground, large-sized spiders. Let's go get the tokens.
How many?
Oh, we'll show you in a second.
Just spawn in 9 tokens. Oh!
3 big ones. And you see a bunch of small ones just skittering along on the wall, swarming down.
Hand-sized?
Yes, hand-sized, if not smaller. You can.
Grabbing my pike and I'm starting to sever the webs on their legs.
Okay.
It's not a pike, it's a javelin.
So that's not a very good weapon to try to sever things with. You may make a dex check.
I've got a knife in my bag, so do that.
Well, you already decided to use the pike, right?
Yeah.
You're right. I don't have the ability to put one away and pull another one out.
No, you do, but you've already committed that you were going to use the
Okay,
pike.
so I'll do a turn with the spear and then a turn with the knife.
Sure. I mean, if I didn't say anything, you would have kept that command, and then I would have.
You're right. No, you're absolutely right.
So, make a dex check with disadvantage. So technically, closest to you is Evelyn.
Oh.
So as you like try to jam the javelin in there, the javelin now is getting stuck, and now it's sticky. Now Evelyn can't put her foot all the way down as the javelin now is kind of interposed between her foot and the rest of the ground. So it's really awkward for her as she's trying to like climb her way out of it. Evelyn, make an acrobatics check, or you're gonna fall to the floor.
This is going great.
Oh my gosh.
6.
Evelyn, you fall to the floor. Your hands kind of land on the ground. They're kind of getting sticky, and you're starting to get the web. And that fear, that hyperventilating, is totally kicking in now because your worst fears are being realized. Or Evelyn's.
Yeah. I'm hyperventilating. I'm full hyperventilating. Yeah.
Can I cast prestidigitation on the?
As you try to cast prestidigitation on webs, it kind of like clumps them together, but these are really sticky and it doesn't really do anything. So it doesn't like scatter them around. The earlier ones seem to be good, but at this moment you now realize as you try to do that the giant blab of that kind of splattered to the side of Auric actually was a large tendril of web that's freshly coated, freshly produced, and it's super sticky, and that's what you guys currently are standing in. And so that's your predicament. And
Son of a gun.
so your precipitation was a wasted action. You can't do anything else. You're stuck in it. Haname, you see Evelyn, and she's fallen on the ground, and she's just now her eyes are wide. She's not even trying to run. She's just completely shell shocked. Roderick tried to cast spell, and he's like, "Son of a bitch!" And he doesn't even finish the bitch because that's when your turn kicks in.
To, I guess. Could I completely avoid the web, just like going over here so I have?
You've already passed your dex check. You know exactly where it is as you turned. There's no threat to you.
Okay.
You can avoid it.
So I'm going to do this so that way I can keep an eye on this angle here, and I'm going to pull out my dagger and start trying to cut the tree.
Okay. With that in mind, it's a dex check, just as is, nothing, no disadvantage. I think that was on Evelyn, you said?
Yep, no, that didn't work.
So as you kind of try to start... So she's got her hands kind of stuck to the ground, her feet are stuck to the ground, her butt seems to be stuck to the ground. Where were you trying to cut?
I was trying to free one.
One of the hands?
Yeah.
Okay. And that would, let's just make it on the perception of where you are. That'd be her left hand. And as the knife kind of like goes in, and you like lift her hand up, and she's not even trying to puppet herself. She's just shell shocked. You try to jam the knife in there and slicing it left and right to try to carve into it, and the knife gets stuck.
This is going great.
Aniel kind of interposes herself between the onroaching enemies, pulls out her staff, and she looks at Doma. Are you ready? Doma, what do you want to do?
Oh, yeah. I'm ready.
Pulls out his crappy war pick. A single tear sheds down his cheek.
Twirling around. Goodbye, old friend.
Picky. Goodbye, Picky. I will miss you dearly.
Fuck, who the hell would name it Picky? My god.
I don't know, maybe.
Alright, so they're going to move closer. Let's get the other tokens.
Does Moonbeam have to be straight up and down?
Yes.
It's lame. I can't put it across the floor?
Oh, jeez.
Let's make it require.
Those are spider swarms. That's not just one spider, it's dozens of
They're a bunch of mini
micro-
spiders.
Yes, exactly. You start to see them clawing down on the webs, down on top of the buildings. They're coming out in droves. There's a large number of them. They're probably easy to squash, but there's large of them. Okay, and that was their turn, rushing towards you. We'll go ahead and... No, we're not technically in combat yet. You guys can all do whatever action you would like to do what you want to do.
Alright, well... I guess my dagger's just long. So I'm trying to
Totally pull it out.
Aniel, I know what she's going to do. She's going to cast Sacred Flame at this. Variant finally hits! Natural 3 for its text save! Finally! She's tried to cast this like 8 times and it's always failed. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
The happiness from Laris, my god.
Oh no, that's not really good damage. Alright, well, 6 radiant damage. That's whatever, it's better than nothing.
Oh, she finally hit.
So this, like, beam of, well, ball of golden energy appears in her right hand, and she just gestures it towards the spider, and you see the orb, like, streak out to it, becomes a beam as it strikes into the spider's face. The spider, like, backs up. You see that part of its, like, carapace cracked and damaged, and there's, like, this little tinge of red energy, radiant slash what looked like burning, I guess, done to its form. It retreats backwards a bit, actually turning its approach to the side, trying to evasively dodge, so its direct approach has been hindered from that attack. Rest of you guys all have an action. Doma, Roderick, Oric, Evelyn, and Haname. What would you guys like to do?
Alright, well, I'm
God, I can always speak to them. I speak with animal, but I don't know what to say to make it go away.
Go around this way, let's see here.
Guess that'd be intimidation. Is that good on me?
Or can you use your the alchemical fire or something to get her out of there?
Alright, well,
Or something.
Haname's moving right here, and is going to cast Thunder straight down this line to try to buy us some time.
Thunderbolt. So these are buildings. They're about 8 feet tall.
Okay, those are on the building.
Yes, so unfortunately you would not be able to hit. You can hit the small spiders, but you won't be able to hit the big one with it. The angle won't have support it.
So I can't.
You could hit
like-
this guy and like this guy,
Yeah.
but you can't hit this guy, and this guy.
Alright, well, I'm gonna hit these two then.
Sure. All right. Dex saving throws. Okay, so the small spider lanes failed. The big spider passed. He rolled a natural 17. So he passes. The small spiderlings, doesn't matter what you roll, they instantly die. Let's do roll damage for the big one, though. Because he takes half damage.
That is 23.
23, so 12. Okay, so as you hit it, the spider... and it, just like its counterpart, darts to the side, trying to be evasive. You don't even see the remains of like what happened to the spiderling before. They're just, this little pack is gone. This guy is now technically going towards the right, towards the wall. As you see him like running off towards that direction, you just see the other spiderlings climbing down quickly towards you guys.
Okay. Or what are you doing?
I come here and I ask both of them, would you guys rather be stuck in webs or a little bit singed?
Just do what you gotta do. What you gotta do.
Okay, do you want me to use my alchemical fire or do you want me to use my breath?
It doesn't matter. Whichever can get us out of here. Saw that matter the quickest.
Okay, I can get both of you out at the same time, I think. And Evelyn, any opposition?
As you look at her, she seems to be shell-shocked.
I can't say anything. Yeah.
Just do it. She is going right now.
Alright, here we go, we're doing it. And I breath them both, unfortunately.
They're both considered well, Evelyn's restrained. Roderick is currently grappled, so Roderick, you can actually do a dex save with disadvantage. Evelyn automatically fails.
Just cross your fingers, I roll very low.
Isn't it 3d6 now?
Right, thank you.
Oh, it's a 5. Oh yeah, 7. 7. If only.
Yeah, you fail. Alright, cross your fingers for a low roll.
Okay, both of you.
Why did you say that?
Both of you take 14 fire damage. The webs are immediately singed off you, Evelyn. That pain actually snaps you back into your body, and some morphine kicks in from the adrenaline. You kind of like remembered like you can fight, so you do gain a moment of clarity from it. It hurts, but that pain reminds you that you don't want to die.
I made 3 potions last night, right? So I'm gonna give you.
Can't do that both.
Nice.
I say, we can fix this, we got it, guys.
Alright, well, now that he is free, Roderick would spin around.
As you spin around, you see the spiders that were coming towards you guys are now turning around and running.
Oh.
They weren't expecting this.
Oh, I'm about to kill them all then, I guess.
I mean, I don't know.
Now's our chance, let's get the F out of here.
Yeah, let's go for it right now. Boy.
Wait, where are they running to? Just back up to the ceiling?
They're running back up the web. The ones that were running towards the wall.
Why? Why would they run?
The fire probably scared them.
Well, you look behind you and be like, oh, what?
So technically, it's Evelyn and Roderick's turn. So Roderick, you turned around to see this. You see them now. They're now just running the other way, back up their webs away from you guys.
Do you say anything?
Wait, why is it Roderick's turn?
Because he hasn't done anything yet.
I haven't done anything.
Correct. It's still your turn too. Evelyn, Roderick, and Doma all have an action pending.
I'd like to test something by lighting a torch on fire and throwing it by one of the spiders.
You can light the torch on fire, but you cannot throw it.
Roderick, did you say anything about
No, that's too many. It's too high an action economy. So you can light the torch, and the torch, if you want to do that, can catch on fire. That is your turn to use tinder to spark it on fire, sir.
And when I throw it, can I use my thermomancy to make it brighter?
Hold on. How are you going to throw without lighting it? I'm sorry. Is this already lit?
Oh, I am throwing it. I'm lighting it. I'm saying in my next turn, can I like make it brighter?
If the spell lets you do that, then yes.
Yeah, if it makes it all bigger and flamey.
So then the spell says you could do it, then you would be able to do it, right? So.
It's a cantrip, don't worry.
Alright, so do you want to light a torch?
Yeah, I'm lighting it.
Alright, you light a torch. And the torch, after like your 6 seconds, now sparks up and you have fire on a torch in your
I
hand.
have a few of these.
There's already spiders fleeing. They don't see any new change in environment, so you can't confirm your suspicions. Now, technically, it's Roderick and Evelyn's turn.
Evelyn, they're retreating. They're retreating.
Why?
I don't know, but
I think I have an idea.
and
You guys can all talk. You're not in
I
combat.
think I have an idea. They might be afraid of fire.
yes.
So I turn around. Do I see any that are still down here, sort of?
So at this moment, because I gave you a little bit longer dialogue, the big ones are climbing up webs. They're back on buildings. The small ones, most of them have kind of scattered out of view or up toward, or like climbing up the wall currently.
Where's like a bigger cluster of them? Is there like a cluster of like the little ones even? I can get or no?
Wall here full of little ones. Over here, there's tons of little ones along the wall. The ceiling.
Throw it around here, can't you? Hit
As you actually are looking, because you wanted to look, you do see the ones on the roof, and there's tons up there.
Tons.
Okay, so I wanna aim over here. How do I do the thingy?
Left click. I'm sorry, left tab, and then left click.
I wanna cast fireball.
Okay.
Hit the big one and the little ones.
Roll your
Yeah.
damage.
Yeah. My
Hold on.
Fireball should be big enough, shouldn't it?
I don't. Even if they succeed,
20.
even if the small ones succeed, they instantly die. It's only the big ones.
Yeah, like right there.
Both big ones failed. So you're clearing that group for sure, probably.
Well done, well done.
Ooh.
We'll see. She could roll really badly. But
So I'm just rolling damage.
That was sorcery
yes, just
points.
roll 8d6. We'll find out the total.
She can't roll badly with damage. She has sorcery points.
She could re-roll, but it still could roll badly.
I'm gonna reroll some of these.
Sure.
There's a 2 1s and 1 2, and then a 3. If you want to roll that.
Here it is.
Those are your fucking lowest. My god. The rest are 5 and 6.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Oh!
Oh wow.
So 19.
41.
Spiders.
Oh yeah, the big spiders are gone. The spider webs in the area are blown asunder. You see them splatter against the wall. They immediately catch a blaze, and the fire just starts creeping up the spider web quickly. And the spiders are reacting to it. They're fleeing as fast as they can away from it, like climbing all over the place. The ones over here, they like pretty much jump from the shockwave, and they're just fleeing as fast as they can up the wall or away. They're running deeper down the corridor, away from you guys. You can tell that they do not like the fire.
Well,
God,
You see this, the fire kind of like spreading out, and it's going from web to web, and this giant network of spider webs just starts getting eaten away. And
So,
after a
burn?
minute or so, you have a path down the road that's slightly charred. It smells like burnt
Okay,
web.
all the spiders are still on the roof though, right?
The spiders on the roof, as you like every minute, you're just seeing them. Actually, they're not just sitting on the roof; they're just running further down the hallway. They are not hanging out with you guys at all. They're done. That was too much for them to realize to try to fight you.
They're like, nope.
Yep, they're
Even all the
gone.
ones on the roof, they're bending the...
Every single spider is fleeing for its life right now.
The fireball was so intense it actually caused fire to ignite, is what he's saying.
Their web is being destroyed, and they
Great
don't
job,
like
Adam.
fire in the first place. They're fleeing for their lives.
I'm gonna guess this side of the room isn't burning.
So the fire is creeping its way towards you guys, and if you want to wait like 5 minutes, you're pretty much.
I'm waiting for the webs to burn before I go in there.
Yeah. So I mean, at this moment, it's been a minute or two, and this you could safely go down the middle.
Why
But
would
you
you
could
collect
you
some weapons?
you could wait
Because it's
longer.
strong as steel.
You could wait longer and have it like then basically the entire town be purged if you'd like.
I'd
Yeah,
like to try.
I'm gonna wait for it to be all purged with
So
the
five minutes of you guys waiting, and eventually it's just smoke sizzling.
Damn it, Larry.
What?
I've said it like 4 times. I want to try and collect some before it burns.
Well,
Our greedy
so you
little
have
tiefling.
you have the giant web in front of you that from whatever splattered it. You may try to harvest that. It's not connected to any other web. It's just a
Yeah, I
splat.
just want some because it's a really
Okay,
good building material.
strength check.
He's just going to stick his pick in
You-
there and roll it around till it...
You are stuck in that web.
Lovely.
Oh my gosh.
So as this fire burns, you hear Doma.
I'm sitting for 5 minutes. I'm not gonna do nothing.
And you keep fighting it for 5 minutes, and this web is hard.
Well, Doma, you made bad choices.
I did make bad choices.
So for the 5 minutes, I assume that everyone else tries to eventually help you out, and you do get free. Okay.
I don't know,
But the webs are all torn and wrecked, and they're not harvestable anymore, sir.
Fuck, I was hoping to make a necklace while you're
Well,
out of it.
fuck, you roll high enough to collect it, so...
Or were you expecting to stick your pick in?
So
it
in front of you is the town, purged of spider webs and spiders. It's just a stone construct.
All right, I guess it's time to loot, guys.
Check out the buildings!
Are there webs still in the buildings, or just
So you look inside some of the buildings. There are still webs inside of it. There doesn't seem to be spiders inside of it, but not a lot of the webs connected to the outside so part of the internal structures are still coated with it. So you could go in there, but you're going to have to.
I remember I have something to cut webs with. I have a kitchen knife.
I am going to.
Presumably, you get your knife back and your javelin back. By the way.
Yeah.
Can I just try to burn the webs in one of the buildings, with firebolt?
You can try to start a fire with it, sure.
You sure you want to burn it, or are you gonna
So
search
you spark a firebolt.
You're gonna burn all the valuables, man.
Well, that doesn't. No, if it's jewelry, it's not gonna burn. I mean, I'm assuming these homes are made out of stone. It's not gonna burn down.
As Evelyn, make a perception check as you look inside the building you're next to. Technically, the door is here. Sorry, I didn't really draw the doors, but the door's here, and you kind of are looking inside of it. And the entryway's clear, but as you look down here, it's just
Perception.
webs. Yes.
23.
I see everything.
Okay, 23. There is not much furniture. It's collapsed, broken, splintered apart. You see clothing that seems to have rotted away. You quickly surmise that this town has been abandoned for
A long time.
yes, hundreds of years. For clothing to just dissipate from bacteria eating away. So, as far as valuables you're looking around in this area, these people seem to be more of a meager lifestyle. This dwelling does not appear to be a very prosperous dwelling. It seems kind of shanty-made. You're not sure exactly what the village, this like cluster of buildings is designed for, but obviously these inhabitants met a poor fate. You don't see their bodies anywhere. You don't see skeletons or anything like that. Not sure what happened to that. As you kind of look through around there, though, you do see some glinting stuff interchanged in this room of web. So there are potentially a few valuables in here, but doesn't appear like to be a lot. Kind of reminds you quite a bit about the village that you guys, yeah, very similar.
I don't
different
think it's
people.
worth our time to dilly-dally here, to be quite honest.
Well, guys, welcome to Medan. That's Medan for you. Everything right there. Tired dwarf monarchy. That's Medan. All right, next episode.
I mean, Roderick, if you want to go in there, I mean, go for it. But I don't think this town is really going to be.
Did I see anything in mine?
As you look into yours, Doma, yours actually is cleared, and there's burnt stuff all over the place. Make an investigation roll.
Guess I'll check this building.
That one's coated in web still. It's actually wetted all over the door. It wasn't connected to the other web, so it's just a plaster of it's back there. There's no windows on that building. It's just coated in web.
I got a 19 on the circular building.
Circular building. As you kick the door in, and as you look inside of it, it's about half covered in web.
I do my best.
Doesn't seem to be much.
Before I left Roderick, I would have pointed out where I saw whatever I saw.
So, as far as
Do that.
Valuables, there do appear to be some meager coin in there. You could try to collect them with dex checks, or you
Is it
can...
the same currency?
Talking to Oric here. Oric, would you like to try to go collect it?
Yeah,
If you do, it is a check to not get caught.
Yeah, I'll do a dex check. That's it.
Okay, go ahead. Dex check. No, you're good.
21.
So you go in there and you collect the belongings. You find a vial that has some kind of brown liquid in it. As you gauge it, all its potency is gone. It's been rotting away for far too long. You find 3 gold, 6 silver, and 2 copper. And
3, 2, and 6.
yeah. Sorry, 3, 6, 2.
Okay, thanks.
Could you help me out,
You also find books in the area, and you kind of wrestle some of them out. So you get 2 books. So you look in them real quick, kind of glancing through them. They're not in a language that you understand.
Okay.
And that's what you find in there. The books seem worn, partially damaged. All right. So Anya would go into this building as everyone else went everywhere else. Doma, you already did your building, so you gotta wait. So Roderick, you wanted to do this building basically.
Is that like done?
No one's on that one. Oh, Roderick was with her. Yes. Sorry, everyone's moving, so I'm kind of losing track. Okay, so technically, Doma and Roderick can go down here and go down this alleyway into there. And the alleyway is clean. As you get to the door appears to be ajar. You creak it open, Doma. And there are skeletal remains in this building.
Do they look short?
Yeah.
I found our dwarves.
Oh boy.
So Roger goes down there and he looks into the room and he sees skeletons, and this room doesn't seem to have webbing in it. But you do see very old, dried-looking blood splattered against the ground. You see a weapon that's kind of cracked to the side. It looks like this individual was trying to like bar the door. He had to kind of wrestle it open, and looks like something's pincered into his abdomen, and he bled out. Or she. You can't really tell from the skeleton.
How's that weapon looking?
It is a short sword. It is very old. Your call?
It's very old, but how's it looking?
It's coated in...
Very old.
It's very old, man. It's a very old blade.
I'll pick it up.
You pick it up and you take a closer look at it. Are you a master weaponsmith? No, but you do know weapons. So as you look at it, it's sharp. It can be used. It's probably better than your war pick currently. Just like the fucking pike I mentioned, or javelin I mentioned earlier. That's better than your war pick too. A lot of things will be better than your war pick at this point.
Most things are.
Mm-hmm. Especially when your war pick is at risk of breaking the next time you use it.
My war pick is as good as our little friend's hammer right now.
It's true.
So as you like look across this blade and you kind of like hold in your hand and check it, it seems to be balanced. It seems to have weight still to it.
Nothing too special.
Can you make a charisma check?
Charisma check. And it's cursed.
Oh shit.
It's a living weapon.
That's a 3. I'd like to re-roll that.
Last re-roll of the day.
There you go. my roll.
Not a saving throw, it's just a charisma check. Add charisma to your score.
That's a +4.
Okay. As you touch the... So what's your total?
16, I think.
15? Okay, so as you touch this weapon, your paladin instincts make you drop it immediately. You like recoil your hand away and you're like, that thing is not something that I should be touching right now.
What happened there, Doma? You okay?
I'll tell you in a moment. That sword's not very nice to me. Like the divine sense that piece of shit.
Okay. Divine Sense it. It does not come up. Divine Sense does not tell you if it's evil or anything like that. It just tells you if there's a celestial, an aberration, a
I thought it did
undead.
other things too, like checking weapons.
Let's read it.
I thought it could give you a sense of the area. Let me find it.
Is that Divine Sense, or is that your spell, Detect Good and Evil?
That's a good question.
The spell that you probably got rid of because it has no combat power, even though you had
No,
it
no, I
originally.
have it.
Ah, well, then maybe you should use that. Divine Sense. The presence of strong evil registers on your senses like a noxious odor or a powerful good, brings in heavily music in your ears. As an action, you can open your awareness to detect such forces. Till the end of your next turn, you know the location of any celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet of you that is not behind total cover. You know the type of the being whose presence you sense, but not its identity. Within the same radius, you also check the presence of any place or object that has been consecrated or desecrated. Oh, you're right. It does.
There you go.
Okay, you get a very bad feeling about that weapon.
Come on, give me some details.
What? It's not. No. You feel a twist in your stomach as it feels bad.
Yeah, but you don't want to touch it.
I'm going to cast Detect Magic and look at the sword.
Just detect magic. You see magic lingering on the blade.
What school?
Wait, magic?
Is
No, you don't detect. So you're confused. You thought you detect magic, but it's not magic. There's something like on the blade though. Like you can definitely sense something in there, but it's not magic. It doesn't follow the 7 schools of magic.
Stupid cursed object.
Yeah, this thing is really weird. Kid, you want to see if we can get Orc over there to see what it is?
Yeah, bring him over and I'll check the rest of this house. I guess.
Alright. Let's see. Roderick will step out and yell, Orc!
I'll check around the house.
Grab my token and run it over there for me. And I'll start my ritual for Detect Magic.
Okay, you see the weapon. You have to touch it. Are you willing to touch it?
I mean, he touched it for a second. He was okay.
So you put your hand on it. You don't have the reaction that he had. So you're kind of confused at first, is what he kind of tells you about it. But then you can start casting Detect Ritual. And you're like, okay, yeah, I'll take a look. All right. Haname Evelyn.
Evelyn, would you mind helping me with these webs?
Well, I rolled an 8. Let's see. You want just the webs cleared? Is there anything else in here that I can see with my
It
eyes?
seems to be a building that has no windows. There's just a door, and the door is just coated in webbing. It's really thick.
Alright, so I will firebolt the webbing on the door.
You can cast enough repetition of this that eventually the web will spark and you clear the web. And so with that, the door then kind of still steaming smoke. You could open it if you'd like.
Alright. Haname is going to take the hilt of her rapier and use it to push the door open.
Okay, the door does not open.
A locked door?
What is this door made of?
It's made of wood. There's a handle on it.
Is the handle wood?
No,
I mean, is it metal?
it looks like it appears to be a metal, even though you're not there.
I'm going to reach down,
Careful.
wrap my hand in cloth before opening before reaching for the handle.
Okay.
A giant necrotic explosion.
Maybe detect trap.
Who's within 30 feet? Who's within 30 feet?
Well.
Okay.
I love how everyone got such a kick out of that.
Well, I can anyone detect traps? I feel like it's only certain people that can.
Anyone can look, but your role determines what you think. No, rogues aren't any better than anyone else. It's just that people, in previous editions of D&D, rogues were like the only ones that could do it. Eventually that was changed.
Oh, now everyone can do that?
Of course you can. You look to see if the area is trapped. That's basically what it comes down to.
Detect traps on the door?
You can try to see if you see any, yeah. Make a. I mean, depends how you want to approach it. Are you going to like wiggle around? Are you going to just look at it? If you're just looking at
it,
perception.
I want to look at it very closely.
Perception check.
Very closely.
She's like opening her eyes all the way.
Certain like so. Investigation tends to give you a better result, but it's more risky.
It ain't gonna matter. I rolled a 5. My investigation's a 3.
No, you
Perception's a
said
4.
okay. So well, you don't seem to think it's trapped.
I think it's great. I'm just gonna back up here a bit. I think.
That you think it's great.
I think it's great. I'm gonna leave it alone.
So Haname, you put your hand in the cloth. Do you try the knob?
I'm going to very gently, kind of like, see if I can hear anything. Like,
Okay, you put
try to make sure.
Do you put your ear against the door?
Yes.
Okay, the door is warm.
Oh.
And you smell smoke. You feel heat coming from the door. As you kind of listen, you kind of hear this like little, like a wood kind of campfire splint.
Oh no way! She shot firebolt at it.
Is someone in there?
And as you kind of try to listen past that for other audio noises, you're not hearing anything.
There's
Knock.
files in here.
Just
Knock
that door is
3
great.
times.
No.
I'm going to, at this point,
Are these all people that are in the game?
Backdraft.
like, pull my hand back, but then take the hilt of my rapier
That is
and
my bot.
gently knock a couple of times on the door before kind of like backing up slightly.
Someone's alive.
So you knock on the door.
Yes.
Okay.
Spooky
And
ghost.
you back up. And 10 seconds go by. Nothing. 15 seconds go by. Nothing.
There's no windows, right?
20 seconds go by. Nothing. You wait a minute. Nothing happens.
Should we try this, Evie?
I love the
I mean,
music. This is perfect too. It's a waiting game.
Technically, I could shatter the door open probably, but I don't know if it's worth. I mean, do we really want to wait
Why don't you
spells
just
on a
fucking
door?
unlock it?
I can't unlock shit. I mean, kind of making try.
There are no windows.
Shoulder
Yes, I just want to.
check.
I remember that question. There
There's no
are no
windows, right? Yeah,
windows.
okay.
There are no windows. It's just a stone
Well, I
building with
never
a door.
checked to see if the door
Well, try it.
unlocked.
You said
I'm
it
going-
was warm.
Yeah, I'm going
Well, I
to
mean,
once
I
again.
did fire bolt the door a few times, so maybe there's just some,
That's kind of what I was thinking about. Why the door was crickling.
Right.
You probably shot it with fire. That might be why.
Do it.
Okay, well, I'm
Do it.
going to, I guess, once again wrap my hand in the very, very gently, like, and slowly try to open the knob.
Okay, you turn
And-
the knob and the
You
door
got this, Anime.
opens.
I'm going to gently push it open.
Man, everything's gentle.
And
with
it,
this lady.
as you creak in there, you smell a whole wave of smoke coming from the inside. You see some like what appear to be cloth before, but decayed, kind of still sizzling from the fire. Seems to have creaked underneath through the wood or somehow, and it's burning away some hubris in the area. As you look in this room, you just see jar after jar after jar after jar. There's about 30 jars along the walls, along the ground. Pots and jars, basically.
Okay, well, I'm going to give the smoke a minute to clear out and then go in and inspect some of
A
these
minute won't be
jars.
enough. This is not a well ventilated room,
Alright.
but you may do what you want. So
I
you
didn't
wait. You wait a
think
minute.
literally
You kind of sniff in there. Nope, still smells a critic.
I'm going to let it air at least a bit to the point where it's not going to like.
Tell me how long you want to wait.
I'll
I
wait.
mean, maybe
You want to know
whatever
so
I
ours smell
burned in
complete
there
tenant?
might not make. Maybe, yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to give it another 5 minutes. to
All right,
air out
5
and check
minutes.
again.
You 5 minutes. All right, Auric, your spell finishes. Okay. Make an Arcana check.
Oh no.
And you explode. You held it too long.
What's the joke with the traps?
Oh!
There's no traps. They're just paranoid.
What was it?
Oh my god.
It's 24.
Like you try to open it with his sword. Of course, it's not gonna open the door. You gotta twist it. I don't know.
He has to find the item now.
Just they're making it crazy.
God damn it, I didn't think these people would
What's
actually
your
keep
total,
it.
Orc?
24.
24. All right. So
You know its exact description.
as you touch this blade and you're holding onto it for 10 minutes, you feel a tingling running up your arm, and then up your other arm, and then along your back, and along your neck, and down your spine, along your butt, along your legs, your thighs. It's just like all the hairs in your body start rising. And then as your spell finishes, you like open your eyes and they're white crystal, white, foggy white as you get the divination information plugged into your head. There is no magic on this blade. However, it's not like the blade is any unique item, it's just a weapon, but you detect something is using it to remain where it is currently.
It's a ghosty ghost. There's a ghost attached to it.
That's it.
That's it.
Alright,
Doesn't particularly do anything. Fuck, I swear I have something for this.
I'm okay to release the blade, nothing happens.
You let go of the blade, you're not attuned to it, nothing happens.
Okay.
You can attune to this?
Apparently.
Maybe, maybe not. I'm just saying he's not attuned to it.
I don't get that out of Identify or anything.
Identify lets you know of like the identity of an
Right,
item.
I mean, with my Arcana check in.
Yeah, no, you just know. You know, there's no magic enchantment on it. It seems to be otherworldly. Something's using it to remain here on your material plane. That's like basically
Maybe
what you
ask
get.
the angel.
That might be a good idea.
5 minutes pass as you go back into the jar room. It still smells musty and smoky in there. This is.
Are the jars intact? Like, is there like liquid? Like what?
Their jars seem mostly intact. A few of them are broken, but this would be where Link would go to harvest rupees, basically.
Is it ghost
Okay,
class
that
as
is-
undead? Sorry.
Alright. Haname is going to like take part of her cloth and put it over her like nose and mouth and kind of like duck in and inspect some of these.
It's a
jars.
prissy priss. My God. All right, you go in there. You cover your nose and mouth with the cloth.
He said there was still smoke.
Yeah. All right, you go inside there. All right, you're inside the room. There's pots everywhere. You start poking around. Evelyn, you go in.
I'm at the doorway.
All right, so you look in there. All right,
Then I
so.
guess here.
So you
like,
kind of like
link
start
back.
inspecting the wares, and these pots seem mediocre at best. Some of them seem to have a liquid, like you kind of pry this like wooden latch off the top of it, and it's just a terrible smell. You quickly put it back. Oh God, you almost retch. It's whatever's in it's fucking definitely gone bad. And as you kind of like poke around for the most of it, you feel like this is probably like a wine cellar of sorts, or some kind of food beverage area. I don't know. That's kind of what you get, but whatever was in it is just gone, long gone.
It's like an old rotting, like,
Okay.
protein fig.
No, this is not Anne Neal's singing.
Alright, well, in that case...
She does have a beautiful voice. I just can't replicate it, but
I'm going
it's like everything. She's perfect.
actually
You're a
Hey.
little bit voice script too.
So, Haname, what are you trying to do? You're leaving, or you're grabbing something? What do you want to do? Bless you.
Wants to sneeze.
Exactly, I'm sneezing. But no, I am going to actually take 2 of these intact jars that seem like they have different things in them and take them with me.
Okay, you grab them. You grab smaller or medium-sized ones. There are large ones, but you can't grab 2 of them. So you grab 2 medium pots, and they're heavy, but you manage to, with time, you bring one out to here and you bring the other one out to here. So you got 2 pots down out in the middle here. Next to you, kind of. You can't hold both, basically. You'd have to put one down. You can only carry one with you, basically, unless you want to run the back holding. All right. Let's go back to Oric, Roderick, and Doma. You guys are in that room with Oric finishing his identification.
So what is it?
Well, not magical in and of itself, but there is like, there's probably some kind of like entity that's bound itself to it, like something attuned to it. Maybe
He looks down at the sword and then looks around the room for a moment. Casts Detect Good and Evil. That's when you see undead.
It's evil. It's evil. There's a malicious intent on that weapon.
I can detect undead within 30 feet too.
They don't detect undead.
It's just a malicious thing. No. Don't attune to that.
One sword to rule them all.
Oh man, that'd be so
you
cool.
could either, you know, put it back. Just leave it here, or if you really want to take it with us. Oh.
I think it'd be interesting, but it doesn't feel like a good sword.
I like adventure. Let's take it with us.
Okay.
But I mean, I guess it won't matter if nobody uses it, right?
Right.
I need a sword. Looks kind of dejected.
Maybe, though, we should see if our
Angel friend.
angel friend can
She could,
help us out. It's a
maybe
little,
she could like purify it or something.
who knows?
Let's go find
Let's
out.
go.
Hey,
Pick up the sword and wander over there.
Alright, so you head off towards the middle where your angel was, and the
Yeah,
rest of your group has gathered up in the middle, and there's no angel in the middle with you.
Is she over here? Can we see her in the door, or is she
You
in the
do
house?
not see her in the door.
My spell is still going. I can tell where she is.
Okay. She is inside that building.
I thought so. Well,
Let's
take a
step
peek
in.
in there.
Okay,
What's going on there?
you look into the door and you see Aniel, and she's just frozen stiff, not moving. Her back is turned to you. You see blood on the ground, and you see a very large, massive creature in that room with her.
Jesus Christ, guys. Don't just rush into the room. I'm in the doorway.
They don't even know this information, but they just like, get my token ready!
Get in there!
So, as you look in there,
What's wrong?
we draw this a little bit better.
I'm gonna guess it's a bit bigger. Oh god, the house is green.
Damn it! I'm destroying buildings!
House disappeared!
I'm trying here! Come out!
We're out of time!
Houses are magically. Magic.
Leave everything!
So that's the door. It was elongated. Yeah, it was kind of triangle-ish, right? Like that.
It was kind of.
Good enough.
It was like, it led out this way.
Good enough.
Alright, so over here, to the side, you see Aniel, and she's got tons of web being like wrapped around her as there's a giant fucking spider currently cocooning her.
Guys, get in here. We got a spider deal.
Get out the way.
So the spider turns to you before you can even say anything. Everyone start rolling initiative.
Damn it.
Please. I need. God damn it! Of course my boss rolls a fucking nat 1! What are you fucking, what the fuck?
that's too funny.
It is. He got lower than me, and I thought I was fucked.
Yeah, I know. I was right there with you. I'm like, F, I got an 8. That's too funny.
Why did everyone
Alright,
crowd
so
over
everyone
here?
move their tokens.
I thought you guys were checking out your jars.
No, we already did.
They're in the middle. They were in the middle, so they shouldn't be next to the door. They should be near the middle. Like, theoretically, like, something like this is kind of where I had you guys. But it's somewhere in the middle of the town, like, where you were regrouping. I don't know why Oric and Roderick are in the building already, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Over the door,
I tried to say something, but before it happened, we rolled it.
Right, you basically are at the door, Doma. As you look in, you see this, and you get to basically yell at everyone, hey, there's a fucking spider here, which is, I think, what you said you wanted to say. But, come on, setting the fucking
What are we doing?
situation.
We're rolling? What?
Rolling initiative.
There's a giant spider, and it's wrapping up Aniel.
Mm-hmm.
I found her in a house.
Natural 1.
Pang.
We're at the same level as the boss.
Well, she answered Dex, but
Plus my 1 initiative gives me a 2.
Oh, you're ahead of the boss.
Head of the spider.
That's all we need.
Rolled in that one.
All right. So from your perspective, Doma, you yell out to the group. What do you yell out?
Give me a second, I'm choking to death. My own saliva. Oh fuck, I hate being sick. Oh, Jesus Christ. The spider's got an nail, guys. I can't be loud.
Sure. All right. Well, that's good enough. All right. So at that point, now we have initiative kick in. First thing first, Roderick, you get to act, and so you heard this yell.
And I would have to move past Doma.
You can totally shoot him. Just reach your hand over my shoulder.
You'll reach around. I mean...
Oh!
Hey.
Let's get it.
Oh.
Eve, I didn't know you were into that.
So you can move through. You can move through allies, basically.
yes, you can.
This is a situation where you could move past him. Basically, he would let you.
It's not like
How would it make the token so big, Glarus? Really?
It's giant.
Yeah, it's right there.
Really, Glarus?
It's giant.
Really?
Anyways, listen to the music. Yes. Favorite boss fight of Dark Souls 1.
Alright, Void Flame
fuck
on.
that spider.
Yeah, screw that spider, man.
So as you look, the back of this building seems to be destroyed, opened up. You go in there, Roderick, and you see Aniel, and she's got a whole bunch of web wrapped around her. She's not moving. She's not fully coated yet, but it's in the process of doing it. It turns to you. Spittle and like ichor kind of spitting out of its mouth towards your direction, landing against the ground. Make a nature check.
What is it?
Oh, definitely.
Don't look at its eyes. I know what it is. Maybe. I really hope not. Fighting that thing at level fucking 6. Ouch.
So nature, that is a full-on 13.
Okay, good enough. That ichor and slime looks awfully fucking familiar. And that's it. Okay, do what you want to do in your turn.
The ichor and slime looks familiar. Oh, it spit the web at us earlier, that little fucker.
No. The ichor that covered the black sunlight with the black ichor that was controlling the other stuff.
No, I'm just gonna stop that in the butt right now. Yeah, the other assessment was the accurate one. It spat shit at you.
It spat shit.
I'm not even gonna let you go down that fucking no can of worms.
All over again.
No.
The black stuff ichor, so I think.
Yeah, I mean, but I can't. I only know so many words. All right, I'm not a fucking thesaurus.
It is Rukan all over.
All right, Roderick, what are you doing? Let's go. We got time to
Void Flame, I
kill.
said it already. I said Void Flame already.
Void flame. All right, dex saving throw.
Oh man, you haven't done that in a while.
It passes. 18 natural. So you kind of, yeah, the spider ducks, the fire flies out and hits the roof, and you see the black energy kind of like crowed away at part of the stone. It actually eats away part of the stone, but doesn't hit the creature.
Robert Mara, that's how Aniel feels.
Hey. You jerk.
Anything else, Roderick?
Alright, we'll try to just so he's not blocking the doorway and then be done.
Okay, Haname.
Okay.
Ulrich, you're on deck.
And I guess I can see from
You can see over it, and you see this giant fucking spider. You kind of see the shoulders of Aniel, and you see web in there, but you don't know the full situation yet.
Alright, you said this wall over here
Seems to be damaged and
right?
collapsed in, yes. And then you can see behind it out into the darkness out behind.
In that case, I would like to cast Fairy Fire, targeting just the spider.
Please, just the spider.
Yep.
I'd really like that to not be on me.
It's not gonna be possible. You don't have a clear enough shot to basically. I mean, it will hit Aniel too. I don't know if you care about that, but it will hit her too. Effectively, like, you don't have a pure shot view from your current position to see just the spider by itself or behind it. You see like the area, but you need like a location. So I don't think it's feasible within the limited vision to make that happen. So it's your choice. You could blanket Aniel with it to your call.
Is it 10 or 20 feet?
20 feet radius.
20-foot radius,
Yeah, it's pretty big. So that's kind of where I'm like struggling to kind of, since it's also a confined space. Even if you manage to kind of aim for behind it, it's just, I don't think it's feasible.
Alright, guess I'm gonna have to then.
Okay, Aniel automatically fails. The creature gets to try to dex save. Natural 15. What's your DC? I think it's 15 or 16, right?
That would be 15, yeah.
Okay, it passes. So the spell, this plume of light erupts. Evelyn, you even see some dust like kind of puff out the back of this, and you're familiar with the Fairy Fire spell, so you know shit's going down in there. But as the dust settles, nothing's sticking to the creature. But the cocoon and Aniel, she's just kind of catatonic, and she's clearly shining.
Do I have to use an action to dispel it, or is that a bonus action?
It's concentration. You can just cancel it.
Okay, in that case, since I missed the spiral, I'm just going to go ahead and cancel.
Okay, then you break the concentration, and all the dust just fades off, and there's nothing in there anymore. Same environment as it was previously. Anything else on your turn?
I'm just going to hold here.
Okay, Oric, you're up. Doma, you're on deck. Get ready.
I am ready.
You don't know that yet, but yeah, if you make vision, you would see it. You're quiet. Get close to your mic.
Sorry, is that better?
Yes.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, look, the back of the building's open. 5, 6, 7. Oh, you want? I could do that.
So you run down this hallway, which there's supposed to be a building adjacent to it, and you can go 6 more squares. So I assume that would be it on your turn, Doma.
Alright, just wondering, do I have the sword? I'm pretty sure I said I picked it up earlier.
Yes, you have it in your possession. I'm fine with that.
Alright, cool. Oh, let's give this thing a try, shall we? Curse either or not. And run up to it at second level by smite its ass with a smack. If I hit.
Okay, you swing the weapon towards the spider. Please make a charisma saving throw.
That's an 8 to hit.
Okay, and charisma.
Plus whatever.
Chris, save that 8 with your 8 plus your stuff, but charisma saving throw, please.
That's a 7. Plus, I think, saving throw. Oh,
Yes.
geez.
Should be good for you, but I need it all.
Charisma saving throw is plus 11.
Okay, 18. Okay, so
Yep.
you've managed to strike towards the creature. Okay, so now you're 8 plus your shit, please.
What am I adding to this? Just the dex?
Proficiency in
It's your you can use
Oh,
strength or
proficiency.
dex.
Oh, strength or dex?
It's a
I'm
finesse
gonna add
weapon.
strength, then that's plus 3, so plus 6.
So
On
14.
to 8.
Okay, as the blade strikes out towards it, you just bounces off one of its legs. As a part of the chitin is cracked a little bit, but you didn't actually get through.
Stupid divine smite.
It seems to be using part of its legs to keep spinning Aniel, and the other parts are now facing towards you because you've actually entered melee with it. Anything else in your turn?
Wait a second. Fucking, I used a bonus action, right? Let me read this real quick. It's a thing. What? That's an action. Never mind. I didn't know that was an action. I thought it was a little bonus. Okay, yeah, that's my turn.
Okay. Next up is Evelyn. You're up. Boss is next. By the way, Evelyn, you healed from your fireball, right? From your staff?
Oh shit, no, I actually did. Well, no, I took the damage. I guess I didn't know. Oh, wait.
You took
I
damage
took
before
damage
it.
before.
Yeah, so you should be healing. You should have healed 3 health.
Oh, yeah, 3 health. Ooh, I'm up to 25.
Everything matters. Everything matters. All right, so what do you want to do, Evelyn? You hear fighting and shouting there. You have no idea what the creature is yet. You can maybe guess, but you don't know.
I'm pretty fucking sure I know what it is.
No one's. I don't think anyone actually announced that Aniel was in trouble, right? They just said, "Hey, there's."
Spider lair. Oh,
I yelled at him.
and he didn't say spider. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just remember something. Anyways, so what are you gonna do?
What's the damage of my new weapon?
It's a short sword, dude. It's D6.
D6. All right.
Well, you said I saw dust come up from behind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll
A
just
plume of
move
pink
away
energy.
That direction.
Okay, go ahead and move over there if you'd like to.
I don't know what direction it came from. I'm not really looking at tabletop right now. I really can't, so just move me.
Okay, move towards that direction, basically.
Yeah. But not like close to it.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna get you at angle,
gonna
basically.
skirt out.
We'll have you dash 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this gives you just an air angle to see the back of the spider's legs, and you're like, oh shit, that's a big spider! And that would be your turn unless you got a bonus action.
That's it.
Okay. Alright, spider's turn. At this moment, it's going to turn towards you, Doma, and it's gonna stop spinning Aniel. It kind of like tucks her into under its belly, and it opens its maw, and this ichor and slime start like collecting in its mouth, and it spits out towards you. Make a dex saving. No, it's not a dex saving throw. I'm sorry. Make a strength saving throw.
Oh.
Remember
This dice had to stop fucking me at some point. 19 plus whatever.
All right. So as you see a large blob of web kind of like form out its mouth, and a ball gets flung out at you, and it impacts you. You manage to hold your ground. You're not knocked backwards. You're not knocked prone, and you don't take damage.
I don't take damage.
You don't.
Nice.
At this moment, the spider is then going to end its turn. And now it is Aniel's turn, and she has no turn. So Roderick, you're up.
Alright, he's gonna back into that. Well, he's in the doorway, like slash that. So we're gonna go in. So, shall turn his body, face the creature completely, and he shall cast Void Bolt.
Okay, roll it. Now, obviously, this is the legit one, right? Not the free cast?
Yeah.
You've already done that.
25.
That hits. Full damage.
Alright, do a minute.
These are some dice.
D6. Level 3, it should be 76.
And make sure that's correct. 1, 2,
You need one more.
4.
I think it's 1d6 per level up, right? So yeah. Should be
Yeah, after the second level.
Yep. So you're casting level
There you
3.
go, that's right there.
76. Go ahead and roll these d6. Incoming necrotic damage. 23.
23.
Alright.
Get fucking wrecked. Screw it.
As there's like dark energy in your hand, and you hear this like screaming or some kind of energy being sucked in. You harness it and you twist and throw it, fling it towards the creature. Doma, you kind of turn to the side as you hear it like whiz past your left ear, and it impacts the spider into its one of its front left legs, because it has many, right? And
Hit the one I hit?
it's
Is that what's
the
cracked?
very big one in front, which is the same one you struck, yeah. And you just see it
So
like
it's cracked.
blow up part of that leg.
There you go.
You see fleshly innards explode. You see this green like liquid starting to pour out of it, like every heartbeat, like as it starts splattering against the ground. Some of it almost splatters onto your clothing. It splatters all over Annie, who can't do anything about it. Yeah, you fucking hurt that thing bad. And clacks his manacles from the hit.
It ain't a happy story.
Well, yeah, seeing as a very happy Ronak would slowly inch his way out.
And I'm not here anymore.
Yep, pretty much. And he would kind of hug that one closest to the door for the moment, kind of peeking in.
Hanami, you're up.
Okay,
Auric, you're on deck.
Okay, so I take it. I don't have enough room for shatter without hitting anyone.
No, I'm right beside it too.
You now have view of it, since there's not people blocking your path. You
He
can
wants
cast.
to know if you would hit Annual or me with Shatter.
He can cast it past it now because he can see past it.
Ah,
You guys were blocking his path because he was trying to cast through you and all
Okay,
this
in
shit.
that case.
That was the issue.
Yeah, okay.
And the spider's big, but you can cast behind it and hit just the spider. It is possible for you to do that at this point.
I'm going to do that.
gotta count. Where are you doing it?
Con saving throw. Roll your damage. Ugh.
What
It
is
fails.
3d10?
It fails. So you do full damage.
What is it, 3d10?
What level are you casting it?
Just 2.
Yeah, 3. One more than Thunder Wave.
17.
Okay. Oh, that's an even number right now. Alright. That's just large shattering. You guys are familiar with this, and you hear a clatter, and you see dust kind of blow out of it. Evelyn would see dust kind of fly out of it. Spider web getting blasted around. Even some of the blood it had splattered backwards, gets splattered inwards, and splatters more of our already spider-blooded people. A bunch of like the debris in the room gets blown around from the cacophonous shockwave erupting forward.
God,
Well
fucking
done.
jab at my ears. Warn me next time, you ass.
Okay. I'm assuming. No, Haname, is there anything else you'd like to do?
I'm going to hold my ground.
Okay.
Shatter right beside
Alright, Auric, you're up. Doma, you're on deck.
my ears. They bleed.
1, 2,
They bleed.
3. What's the spider doing right now? Is it just kind of like clattering pissed?
It has Aniel tucked underneath its abdomen, holding her down there. She's over like 60% of her body is covered in web, and it's currently looking towards Doma, and you see it's kind of reeling from the attacks it just received. It's not looking too good for it already.
I'm gonna take out my thunderstone, try and put my hand in its mouth and detonate it.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, alright.
Well, you be you, Cupcake.
Well, there
God, we've got fucking
attack.
Percy over here. Don't be Lars.
Alright, DC, right? What's the DC on that?
DC is. DC for the thunderstorm is 13.
Alright, roll 2d6 damage. As you, even with the extra modifier gave for that finesse that you threw into there, you didn't manage to get it in its mouth, and you kind of like clink it together like a grenade. It goes off in its jaw.
So the grenade that blows everything 10 feet away, and I just 2d6. Alright, I'll take it. I got 4.
It does not do damage normally, right?
No, but I would imagine displacing your insides like that would probably.
And it's look at its mouth. Look at the art.
I see it.
Okay.
I saw that before I shoved my fist into it.
Yeah, but this thing could eat you, swallow you whole. You'd have to put your arm super
I'm
deep.
blowing up- I'm
You're
blowing
putting
up-
it. You're putting it in the
I
front of its
understand
mouth.
where you're coming from. I'm just
Okay.
pointing out it pushes things 10 feet back.
Sure, and even then it wouldn't hurt it. It would just lunge the creature back 10 feet. I'm letting you do damage at all. You should be happy. For an item that can't do damage normally,
I
right?
understand.
I'm awarding you for creativity. Be happy. How much damage did you do?
I did.
4.
That's
All right.
impressive.
Yeah.
And it is knocked back 10 feet.
And prone.
What, it took Annie with it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Annie was attached to the app.
She's restrained. She's restrained to it. It's holding on to her. So it's brought. She's brought with it. And it falls to the floor, crushing Aniel.
Oh.
No!
Ah!
Tell me it does more damage than my foot.
Yes, it's way more mass. It did the same exact dice rolls, 2d6, but it rolled a 6 and a 5. So. Alright. Okay, now it's Noma's turn.
It's easier for you to hit.
Is he easier for me to hit?
He's prone.
Oh, he is? Oh. Let's use that second level again as soon as I smack it. I'd like to do a con saving throw and hit it. No, that's charisma saving throw, isn't it?
Okay, you make a charisma saving throw if you're trying to attack with that sword.
18 to hit and 14.
Okay, look. So you have no way to distinguish which one's the hit and which one's the
I rolled
slip.
this one. I rolled this
Yeah, but
one
you're not identifying it to me, so I have no
You want me
way
to
to.
reroll?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know which one is which, and so this is impossible for
Yeah.
me to tell to determine if you're not screwing me over, basically, right? I'm not trying to say you are. I have no way to
Yeah, I
ascertain.
totally get what you mean. Anyway, those are my new rolls.
Okay,
Which
so
one was which?
the saving throw passes and the other one hits, regardless. So it doesn't really matter because he's like a plus 11 on his charisma, and his attack's plus 6. So even the worst case scenarios, it still lands. So yes, you do damage to it. Okay, so the blade, you feel this present like trying to twist your blade as you're like swinging it towards the creature, but you manage to force your will onto it to keep doing what you want it to do. Okay, and so roll damage. 1d6.
That's a second level Divine Smite.
Okay, 1d6 plus 2d8.
Ooh.
That's 11. It's a disgusting 1 on the sword. It's really not one made me do shit. What am I adding to this? Nothing?
Strength.
Oh, strength. That's plus 3.
Alright, and it's a one-handed weapon and your one-handed weapon spec, right?
That's plus 2 or something?
Yes. Alright, don't make us have to play for your character, man.
I'm sorry, I just forgot I had that thing.
Yeah. Alright, anything else in your turn?
Nope.
Okay, now I feel bad because you've done 2 turns in a row. You have 2 attacks, but you forgot to use your second attack twice now, so we're gonna skip it again. But I can't let you keep doing that. You have 2 attacks. Alright, technically now it's Evelyn's turn.
This is what happens when you don't play for 2 weeks.
You should still know you have 2 attacks, man, come on.
Maybe if I refuse my shit.
Evelyn. Ow.
You do see it, it's backed out of the building. It's currently like, I mean, it's technically prone, but it's so big that it can't actually, you don't actually have disadvantage with range attacks against it. But you do have advantage on melee attacks against it. It's kind of a weird, interesting situation.
There's no way to hit it without hitting Annie, alright?
No, you're totally able to hit it without hitting Anniel. It's very big. If you're doing an area effect spell, though, she's a liability in it.
Iris, what is this song?
This song? This is, from an anime?
It's totally Kill la Kill, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Do it.
Nui Harimi.
Hold on. Oh, I remember it.
Anyways,
Yeah.
so what would you like to do, Evelyn?
Chromatic orb with fire level 2.
Okay. Dex. No, you try to hit. Roll a hit. No disadvantage, just one roll. That's gonna hit.
21.
Roll your damage.
21.
I'm gonna reroll my 1.
Not the 3s?
Yeah. Okay, I'll do a level.
Three's around.
They're below average.
They're below.
Well, I mean, they're average. Yeah, it's 3.5. You're right. I mean.
There you go.
Sometimes it gets better. Sometimes it gets worse.
Plus 4 for my fire
15.
damage, and then I'll take back my 2 hit points.
Okay, so fire damage strikes into the spider, and the spider, as it gets hit by the blast, it turns to its right to see that there's more of you. Evelyn, your turn's done unless you want to move.
Back out.
Okay, where would you like to move?
I'm just backing up. Sorry.
Here, I put a zone. You can't see it now. Move your token.
Just don't want to look.
There's no. You can't see the token. I blocked it from your view. Please move your stuff.
Do you have scotch tape in here?
Nope.
Oh man.
I mean, can't you like right-click it and hide it for purple alone?
You're technically right, I guess. Yeah.
I'm looking at my dice. It's fine.
There we go.
You go, it's hidden for just you.
All right. Well, I mean, it's gonna move. It's its turn now. I don't know why even. What was the point?
You could have just hit the whole side.
Oh, whatever. All right. Okay, it's its turn. At this moment. Just fucking since it's getting its wrecked, it's gonna fucking run. Jesus Christ. You guys are very aware this thing is critically wounded already. So it's gonna flee.
Yeah, it rolled better. Fuck.
Damn right, you dropped.
I can attack him opportunity. Oh,
Pretty sure I do.
You do it, you do, yes.
I need to smack that bitch.
It has half movement because it's
You're right. So it can only move its.
I get to smack it.
It can move. All right. Yeah, you can totally try to hit it.
It gets to move that far with
It dashed.
What smack it at strength, right? 14.
14 total does not hit. Oh wait! You also gotta make a charisma saving throw.
Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah.
The sword
You're
will
fine.
control me, that's 22, 23.
You're good. All right. Or
This
no.
thing's trying to rebel and it's just not
Wait,
going.
14 to attack. That doesn't. Wouldn't that be 3 plus proficiency?
Oh yeah, I did press fucking proficiency.
You gotta give me your shit, man. Don't. Why are we playing the game for you? Why are you here? That hits. You can roll damage.
Alright, bloody hell.
Divine Smite?
1 damage, there you go.
It's plus your strength mod. God, I don't.
Fucking hell.
Jesus, dude. Review your game. Here you're gonna talk about how you're gonna spend your time today reading 3.5 rules when you don't even know 5th edition rules. I don't.
It's fine.
Oh, Doma, come on. Help us help you. Alright, it retreats over there. That's the end of its turn. As you see, like, looking past into the area behind, there just is a large abyss of darkness out there, and it seems to be knowing where it's trying to flee off to. Aniel has no action. Roderick, you're up.
Alright, since the whole time he's been peeking from the doorway. God damn, I should move far.
Yeah.
It got knocked back 10 feet, got back up, and then it dashed, yeah. And it took the opportunity attack, it didn't disengage, it's trying to run.
Alright, well...
Still has Aniel, right?
Yes.
Yep.
30 feet.
Okay.
And... Give me a second, I don't think I have anything to stop it.
Well, Void Bolt fucked it up. Can you do that again?
Yeah, but... I mean,
So
well,
disadvantage 'cause
I have...
movement.
I mean, I got 120 feet on that, man.
Oh, then do it.
Holy hell.
But I'm saying I don't get damage for it. Alright, because I can...
Yeah. Well, we all have a full turn, so.
Right, but
Okay.
if that was half movement speed, right?
That was half plus a dash. So,
Right, it's gonna keep dashing.
pretty much. That's what I'm saying. We have a full turn.
I'm not about you, but I've never dashed.
All right. I'm just gonna go for broken with the void ball once
Okay,
more.
roll the hit. Okay, roll damage. 70.
Why can't I get the crit?
I don't think it's gonna really matter, but we'll see.
I don't know. Let's see.
It's running for a reason. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Or how do you want to kill him? Jesus Christ.
In a way that Annie Hub doesn't get hurt.
FYI, it wasn't supposed to be fought by itself. It's supposed to fight you with the rest of its swarm. You guys part the shit out of it. I mean, it's not gonna run. It's not dumb enough. It's not gonna run from you because it thinks it can take you, but clearly it can't. And when it realized it was too late. How are you killing it?
Make it disintegrate over Annie or some sorts.
All right.
Those are hard.
It's very big. Your void boil won't be able to suck the entirety of it in, but you can definitely get a good chunk of it. And so you throw this. You
Get just the
You hear this like whispering from the dark beyond as like this the singularity forms in your hand. You see the creature, you see it running. It's just flaming its life. You see Aniel below it, and you're like, I'm aiming at the top. And you throw the spell towards it. And you see this little black orb fly off in a little black bead, and then curls right behind its back of its hump and driving it up to where its spine would be if it had a vertebrae. And you see it carving its way through. And as it's carving, its body's getting twisted and twined inward as it cracks in like from a gravity pulling through it. And you hear this horrendous as it basically has about half of its body get sucked in as the energy eventually dissipates as it gets right around its neck before it can't do any more as the magic fades. And then the creature just falls, like, falling on the ground. Aniel's technically underneath it again, so she gets pinned underneath the debris. It skids to a stop. Green ichor everywhere. There's this huge smear against the ground. Its legs still twitching slightly. That's the end of that fucking fight. Wow, that was not very impressive.
Alright, let's go.
So you rush down there. You guys kind of clean off the parts. You throw them to the side. You eventually clean up, and you get Aniel, and she's just covered in web, and she's totally unconscious. Catatonic.
I'm gonna be dumber for a minute. I'm gonna try and harvest like 6 minutes.
Fuck the angel. I need parts. So, Evelyn, it's dead. I'm going to delete the token for you because so it's off the board.
Lay on hands on our angel friend.
Alright.
And to remove whatever debuff is in there, if there is one.
You gotta choose.
Consciousness.
You gotta choose.
Oh, I have to actually choose the debuff.
Disease or poison.
Wait, she's fucking poison too. That's right.
Probably.
Remove the poison. If
Probably
there is
bitter, so that's probably her blood in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna remove the poison.
Okay, so you spend 5 points, and as energy washes over from you, like bright white, as your hand places down on top of her 40% shown body. So it's like her right shoulder, her right breast. Basically, like the top right of her torso is basically showing. Part of her neck, part of her face. And you put it like around her shoulder, and the energy sparkles white, flushes into her, and then her eyes open, and you see like moments of fear in her face as she's not coming to tune, and she realizes she can't move, and she's trying to like free herself, but then she sees you in front of her, and then she eventually calms down as she realizes what's on.
Hey there.
What happened?
Down.
I don't. All I remember is. Wait, what happened?
At this moment,
Spider.
I'm taking my dagger,
Okay, it's taken.
trying to take care of.
You're safe.
And you guys start carving away the spider and the spider web, and it is incredibly difficult. Your weapons don't seem to be really cutting through it.
Evelyn, are you feeling a little better? About it, not everything is Not seem like everything's a little taken care of.
You see this giant, half-destroyed spider carcass annihilated. One of its legs is still twitching slightly, but there is like no threat to this thing at all. Half of its body has been sucked out of it,
I'm
so.
gonna stay back here, but I do have a health potion if Aniel needs it.
I guess Robert would head over.
Make it a way to get this web out.
May I have that potion, please?
I hand it to Roderick.
I'm gonna
Just
ask
bring it back to
before
Aniel.
you give it to her. Neil, how are you?
I'm in a little bit of pain. My abdomen, but I can't reach it. I'm gonna be okay, I think, if you can just get me out of. I would really like to get out of this. Can you please?
Yes.
I've got a bioalchemical flare.
Whatever is necessary, please. I just don't want to be left like this. I kind of spent a very long time restrained, and you see she's kind of trying to help her ventilate.
Can I use thaumaturgy to kind of?
He's already thrown the vial.
I have a strange question.
Okay.
Can I prestidigitation fire on the webs around her and not hurt her?
I could probably do that with
Is it like low level?
Thaumaturgy can't create evocation. It can trump. It can make like change the color of things. It can make the ground rumble. You can make sound with it. You can't really produce something with it like.
Can't I manipulate fire a little bit? I can cause them to flicker bright and dim.
Okay, that means you can make a candle snuff on or close, but you need fire to manipulate. Where's your fire?
With fire.
Yeah, is that viable?
He didn't throw it.
Prestidigitation.
So prestidigitation can let you summon small sparks. It's possible to start a candle with it. It's a baked ability. You're not going to be able to really. I mean, you could try to. Do you want to try to use it on this web or not? That's the question.
Let's combo it.
All right, so you go.
Let's try that first before you.
You try your spark of fire. You spark it with your.
I'll
And you see,
combo it with mine to make it
as your sparks kind of skitter against the web, you see it not really take the effect. You quickly surmise that this is just too wet. You need a far more potent source of heat to dry it up to actually catch it ablaze. Prestidigitation is not a heat-based evocation. It's about.
Okay.
It's not enough. You could start things that are meant to catch on fire because they are designed to be.
Like start a campfire, let it
Exactly.
dry
If you
out,
have
and
kindle
fire
in
out.
it, or if you have like a candle which is designed to be caught on fire.
I have plenty of fucking candles. Hey, I got like 10 of them.
Right. So
Can I,
however you guys want to approach this, I'm answering your questions.
I do also have a hand saw, but I don't think that's gonna help.
Haname.
She's pretty desperate to get out of these webs.
Haname.
Let's use the.
I hold up my kitchen knife. Can you heat this thing up?
Or please just use whatever that is in
Heat
your
it up,
hand.
right, here you go. And I'll just cut the webs with it.
I'll do it.
I can just cut the webs with the knife if someone heats it up.
Okay, just clear the vial.
You know what? Do what you
Give me a
want.
vial.
Do you?
So dumb.
She asked me to. Like, if she's gonna ask me to do it, I'm gonna do it.
I can
All
literally
right. So
just
you
cut it
smashed.
and
I'm
hit it
tired of
up.
this moment going on for so long. You smashed the file against the web. Flames erupt forward. Roll your damage. She's gonna take part of it. She's not gonna pass out even if you roll 12. It's not gonna knock her out. She'll be close, but she won't be knocked out.
Then Robert will give her the health potion that
10 total.
Evelyn gave.
Okay, 10 total. So she's hurt, but she's not out.
Robert will give her the health potion that Evelyn had.
And so as the flames wash over it and the chemical kind of starts eating away at the web eventually does catch on fire, and she manages to free herself out of it, and she starts trying to like take off sticky parts off of her feathers, but she's actually taking the whole feathers out. It's not really a great method. It's like gum in your hair. And she manages to eventually get herself free of the situation. She looks wrecked. She looks damaged. Definitely the worst of all of you at the moment. You hand her towards the potion, and she offers, "No, I can heal myself. Just I need time."
You sure? You mean you took took a good bit, so I mean. maybe this
As
is
you're
what
saying
trying
that,
to-
she already casts a cure wounds at level 3 on herself.
Am I able to try and help that along with lay on hands?
Whew, that's
I
a
don't
lot.
think it works like
13.
that. Support healer? Support the healing healer.
19
You like medicine.
plus
That
3
is
plus
support. I'm the
5.
support of the support.
Plus 8.
Dude, there was one that you were real. There's super busy probably.
Alright, so she heals 13 HP. This puts her way back in line of way more safe. And you see a lot of the wounds that she has in her body kind of clean up. Even some of the feathers she has in her plumage are restored slightly. That's better. I think I'll be good. You can save your medicine for when you guys need it. Thank you. I don't remember what happened, but thank you.
No problem at all.
It's all good.
We're there for you.
Yeah, sorry it took us so long. We didn't realize you went in the house.
Is that where? Oh, my head's fuzzy.
It's all good. Anyway, what's important is you're safe.
Evelyn's off in no man's land, just not wanting to approach the dead carcass.
Okay, so we know that not everybody's safe. We know the direction the rest of the spiders went off to, so I think this will be the best place to. We can just relax for a little bit, rest
Not
up.
relaxing here.
We'll keep many torches lit.
I
No.
don't really think we're going to help Rob.
Yeah.
I can move. I can go somewhere. We just wherever we need to go.
If we're going anywhere,
I mean,
it
I
needs
didn't
be
want to
back
stay
in
here to
the
look at the town and look what fucking happened. So, no, I'm not gonna stay here.
I'll go ahead and close our session here. You guys can decide what you would like to do over, and then come back and we'll review at that point. So we'll end our session here with jam-packed episode. A lot of stuff happened today.
That was a good one.
Probably try to really push it for how much stuff we could get in here.
I love how we argued a lot in here.
Yeah, we did. You guys are definitely starting to fall apart, fray out. The paranoia is kicking in. Decisions being made by some people, not others. Yeah, you guys are losing it. This might not be the area you should be in. Alright, so for my viewers, thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. I hope you had some fun at some points. I don't know if you enjoyed the arguing. I mean, I kind of found it questionable, but thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. Next Friday, 5:30 PST, we'll be playing again. Right? So,
And there's
Probably.
I'm there.
Now Haname's just going to drive her right through the bottom.
so all of us at Don't Trust the Dungeon Master, we thank you, and please have a great night. Good night!